It's the Opie and Anthony show. You don't want any of this, Vinny.
Not sick.
I'm a bit sick. I think it's just a really bad allergy, though. We got Vinny Brand from the Stress Factory in studio with Bill Burr. And we got reports that you guys know Bob Marley, the comedian.
Yeah, great guy.
Fuck.
Great guy.
But the material we played sucked. Because people are saying that he's a funny guy, but
he's doing some stuff on some radio show that we're goofing on because it's Jocktober again, where we take a look at some of the talent around the country.
You've done a Jocktober with us.
Yeah. Dude, have you heard some of the horrific material that I have to do on the radio?
Really?
Just because it'd be like, yeah, this is sort of like a soccer mom sort of audience, and just stay away from basically all topics that are funny.
Yeah.
And no allusion to drugs. Is that the right word? Illusion? No. Alluding.
Alluding, yes.
No alluding to drugs. Illusion, whatever.
Illusion. Marley's
Don't
hysterical.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go in there, yeah, it's, I don't know. You know,
No,
what
but
do you
this
gotta
seems
do?
like he does this on a semi-regular basis with this show. Because it's like a
he's
character.
a god up there. He sells theaters out. All he's funny as hell.
And he's hilarious. Dude, he's hilarious. I'm not
funny as
lying
shit.
to you.
I am fucking beside myself.
I don't get it. What I heard, I don't get it.
Please. Just
You sit down with
don't
these
put
guys.
me in this position.
I know. I understand.
Bill walks right into it.
I really don't. I don't want to. Believe me, dude. You know why? Because you could do this to me. You could find me on the road, and I'm with it. They always have there's always a regular name and then a crazy name.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, that's what it
Eddie
is.
and the Bullfrog.
It's Mark the Shark.
In this case, it's Mark the Shark.
Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
on this show.
All right, you defended him.
Mark and End Table coming up here live,
No,
and they're
there's-
like,
I know
"What's the deal?" And you got to roll with it.
I know there's one called Larry and Floor Wax.
Lewis and Floor Wax. I do that show all the
Lewis
time.
Floor
Yeah,
Wax. I think it
great
used to be
guys.
Larry. I
Great
think they got
guys.
rid of Larry and
Really?
got Lewis or something.
Oh, yeah? Lewis
I don't
and
know.
Floor Wax?
I hear
That's
they're
actually
all right, but
it's a great show.
Why floor wax?
Does he
I
explain?
don't know. Jesus, guys, don't kill me on this one. Those guys are great guys. They help me sell a ton of tickets.
Yeah, but you can't really.
Not bashing him.
Dude,
Just
you
wanna know
got
why
this is the
floor wax.
funniest damn thing ever. Whenever I'm on the road, right, and I come walking in, the radio is the biggest thing to let people know you're coming in. The amount of times I walk into a room and I'm just like, "Hey guys, thanks a lot, thanks for having me." And everybody's just sort of and I'm just looking at the sides of everybody's faces. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what did Opie and Anthony say about these guys? What did they say about them? What did they say? I mean, dude, I'm telling you, there's some. I just feel like they must have dedicated an hour.
Just bashing this show.
Yeah. And they're really, really hurt. You guys go for marrow.
Sorry about that. What can we say?
I mean, I don't. No, I had somebody up in Connecticut hang up on me the time, right?
Really?
I'm doing a phoner. I'm in L.A., sitting in my garage in my Prius, right, like an idiot. And I'm doing this phoner, an 8 a.m. phoner. And, so it's like 5 a.m. L.A. time. I'm on my phone, my eyes closed, somehow killing on this show. And they're like, yeah, you're going to be in Connecticut, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what was up with that Philly thing or something? They didn't even, or something that ended up me talking about you guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I was working, I was doing the tour with Opie and Anthony, and I went blah, blah, and then they go, and then the guy just goes, okay, you have a good day. And then I hear people start, I hear people start laughing, and then he just hangs up on me.
Oh, brother. What show was it?
You know what? I don't remember.
We'll get him back.
It was one of those things where I was hyping something I was doing on TV, and I literally have this list from my publicist. Call this person at 5 a.m., call this person at 5:15. So I was actually, in a way, relieved. And I also thought it was funny because I kind of figured someone from O&A was going to be listening, and somehow they play the audio. But maybe the show was so horrific that your listeners weren't even listening to it even as a joke.
It's such a guilt by association thing with radio. It's like radio is, if you've been on this show, you're persona non grata.
Dude, it's prison.
Don't talk about it.
It's prison, and I'm wearing the wrong colors.
Yeah.
And I walk down the wrong corridor thinking I'm in the Aryan section, and I'm in the Mexican gang section.
You with the princesses.
Yeah. No, it's bad.
So, all right, so Bob Marley's funny.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah, he's really goddamn funny.
Yeah, he
All
is.
right.
Yeah, totally vouch for him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Vouched for and everything.
I know, we killed him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Destroyed him.
Should have, maybe chimed in a little earlier before we completely destroyed him.
And I'd like to say that if I'm ever in Bangor, I would love to do the show, boys.
Oh.
I don't give a shit. Well, who cares?
Banga.
Well, maybe we move on from Jocktober for a little bit.
Maybe.
Oh, you want to hear a good road story? Me and Joe DeRosa. We're working the Improv, and so I'm not going to say where, just in case they're listening there. So these two whoas come out to the show, sit in the front row, titties out, the whole damn thing, right? Talking to them, lady, figure out that I'm pretty much thinking that they're strippers, right? So it's the end of the weekend. I had a great weekend, and, the whole staff, everybody's going out. So, I'm buying some rounds. So the first whoa comes in, and, I just bought Joe a drink. I'm like, hey, you want something to drink? She's like, yeah. So I get her a drink. We're talking or whatever. And then, 10 minutes later, the second one comes walking in. And just like a stripper, she totally, breaks the whole situation down. There's my friend. She has a drink. I know she didn't pay for it. What's the nearest dick to that drink? And she sees me. Okay? Now, the first girl was cool. The first stripper was cool, but the second girl had a voice that literally could break the glass on those flat screen TVs. I wanted to fucking choke her. So she comes up to the bar and she just says, hey, titties all over the bar. She looks at me. She's like, hey, Bill. She's like, what are you drinking? And I already know what she's doing. I'm like, well, I'm drinking an Oktoberfest. And then there's an awkward pause, and she's just like, how is it? Oh. And I'm like, well, it's delicious, right? And then once again, typical stripper. She's like, well, there's no money to be made here. Moves to the next dick, which is Joe. And then she goes, Joe, what are you drinking? And Joe gets this shit-eating grin on his face, and he goes, a Bud Light. Why? Would you like to buy me one? Right? Dude, and me and the other stripper just start laughing our asses off, and now this girl's caught. She's like, what? What, you don't think I'll buy a round? I'll buy a round. And then Joe goes, yeah, why don't you buy it? Buy a round. Why don't you pay it forward for every fucking guy who ever bought you a goddamn drink and you took it and you walked away? I think you should buy me and my good friend Bill Burr a drink. And he got it all the way up to her getting us both a beer and a shot. And we're laughing our asses off as she's sitting there saying that she's going to do it. So the round comes over. We think it's, that she paid for it. On the slide, she put it on her boyfriend's credit card. She tried to do that, and the waitress busted her. And then in the end, she ended up putting on her ATM card. And when we got the drinks, we said, hey, thanks a lot. And we both got up and walked away.
Revenge.
I love about Joe. I had no idea that he hated women more than me. You should have seen when he realized what she was doing. His head, somehow, he was sitting onto the right side of me, and his head was going past me. He's sticking his neck out so far with this fucking look of, why? Would you like to buy me one?
Buy me one?
Oh, all of it was laced with, you dumb cunt.
Fucking Bill Burr. Bill's going to be at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey this weekend. That's a good one, Bill.
That is perfect.
Oh, we got to do
so many fucking whoas like that.
We got to do the Goodfellas line too, because afterwards we were standing on the opposite side of the bar, just laughing our asses off. And I was drinking the beer she bought, and I yelled, "Hey, Joe!" And I pointed at the beer. I'm like, "Delicious, delicious,
delicious, delicious."
Let's go to John the trucker. John, what's up, buddy?
Hey, John.
Hi.
Hey, John.
Happy birthday, Jimmy. Bill Burr was on Lex and Terry last week. I'm surprised you guys didn't rag on him.
Why?
We don't rag on these guys for doing other radio shows.
They got a fucking, they're plugging gigs.
Yeah. Why, you guys had a fight with them too?
No. Of course we did. Who haven't we had a fight with?
Thank God I didn't bring you guys up, because that would have been like, okay, thanks a lot. And
that had to be a
me
long
out of the
time
studio.
ago.
Yeah, I think
that was a while ago.
Yeah, that's a.
All right.
Let's say hi to Sean in Georgia. Sean.
You're missing the best part of the Lex and Terry interview.
What?
They decided to play this bit for him where they had the guy from Creed's lyrics and them singing, and they said they couldn't figure out what to say, and they played it for Bill, and he goes, "Oh no, he's saying this," and they just couldn't. They're like, "Oh well, you still can't understand what he's saying," and Bill just goes, "No, he's saying this right here," and he just kept shutting them down.
I don't remember saying that. I had a great time on that show, and they helped me sell a ton of tickets. Can you guys stop fucking killing me here?
Callers, Belts, callers.
Why would I say that to your listeners? Now they're all going to call in.
Yeah. Now we'll blow off the phones and feedback for a while.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! I'm just trying to do the road here, guys.
Another newsreader.
Sell some tickets.
Another newsreader having a problem on the local news ant. We all remember this one.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Keep fucking that chicken.
How did he get away with that?
Quick apology and that's it.
Yeah.
Business as usual.
I want to apologize
I
to
think
anybody who might have been offended by the language I used, and then he's fine. He said, keep fucking that chicken. It's bestiality. It's fucking an obscene word. The context of it is.
He got away with that, and in his private life, that's how he talks. That's how it slipped out. But in his public life, in his public life, he's Mr. Ernie Anastas. He's Mr. Up and Straight.
And our point is, radio guy does that, done.
Fired.
Yeah. So fired. You don't get a chance to apologize for that.
Well, he went off the teleprompter. He started panicking when he stepped up.
Yeah.
When he left the safety line,
Yeah,
comes my real personality slipping out. He keep fucking chickens.
He probably wanted to say, keep choking that chicken, and he's like...
Or plucking or something, and fucking came out. Because he was just smiling, and the weather guy that he said that to just kind of went, I will. Like, because he didn't even know how to acknowledge it. So he acknowledged it like he never said it.
I think the only one that even heard it was the girl, because the girl's like, holy shit, with the eyes.
Went like, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right,
googly eyes.
If you guys want to talk about a nightmare on the road, it's whenever you're doing TV. Because, first of all, I don't think it sells any tickets.
Yeah, true.
Like, who's sitting there watching thing, and you walk in there, and, like, they always interview and they're not listening to you. They'll be like, yeah, so you live out, you live in Rhode Island? And you're like, blah, 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 and they're literally reading their next question.
Yeah.
Well, you're answering that one.
Yeah, and they're all dressed like whores, and there's this vibe that everybody's sort of fucking each other. There's always, like, this sexual tension in there.
That's the new news. Yeah, that's like the new thing to have. Look at that. What we got right there. It's kind of, just sitting there.
Well, she's
the
one that goes, my husband.
Entertainment reporter.
Yeah. All right, well, here's a newsreader. Fuck it up. Listen to this one.
Lawmakers in Michigan failed to reach an agreement yesterday on spending cuts in an attempt to balance the budget.
That's my favorite. That one makes me laugh.
Spending
that one happens a lot.
If that's called a wife or girlfriend, a spending cunt.
Lawmakers in Michigan failed to reach an agreement yesterday on spending cuts in an attempt to balance the budget. That means the time state workers show up today, they could be sent right back home. Essential services like police and prisons will continue running.
There you go.
I like how she flubbed the next couple of words.
Yeah.
She's just like, out of all, I just said cunt. That's the worst.
How they get
Someone
back to
call
it?
my agent.
Did you just say cunt? Fucking reporter.
Lawmakers in Michigan failed to reach an agreement yesterday on spending cuts.
That was cunts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah.
I say the F word a lot on shows we're not allowed to say it, and they don't realize I say it, because I was about to say, like, fucking, and I stop at the K, but I was like, well, you can't, like...
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Once the C comes out, you don't need the K.
But I keep going. I wait for them to dump, and they don't, and I'm like, all right, nobody noticed. I really just said it there, but fortunately, I kind of mumble.
Yeah, they'll nail you on that, too. Stupid radio.
We should do the story of the day.
Yeah, I love this one. And having Bill in here for this one,
Well, Bill, it's a Boston legend.
Okay.
Ted Williams is back in the
Ted
news.
Williams story that I
Is
read
he
in the
alive
paper.
now? Did they screw his head onto unfrozen torso?
It involves his head.
Last we left Ted Williams, his head was just frozen.
When
Upside
last
down.
we left you.
Upside down.
For some reason, it's upside down.
Yes.
So it doesn't leak out.
Yeah.
It's like a pumpkin.
Yeah, you don't want all the juices leaking out of the neck.
They put a handle on the bottom like one of those kettlebells you work out with.
This is a horrible story.
They might as well have, Bill, because they're doing some horrendous things to the head, to Ted Williams' head.
Ted Williams' head.
Where's the story? And I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, my God. I don't have it in front of me,
But
but
I
read the whole fucking thing.
Okay, listen to this. This is what's going on with Ted Williams.
Apparently, well, we all remember back in the day when Ted Williams died, there was a lot of controversy because his son said
Fuckhead that he is.
Yeah, fuckhead that, well, he's dead now, too. And I think they froze him. He died of leukemia, Ted Williams' son.
And they died. They froze
him too. I think they did. Well, anyway, he said that Ted wanted to be frozen, cryogenically frozen, so that if a cure for whatever ailed him, death, ever came around way in the future, they could take his brain and somehow reanimate him in some way, shape, or form. That's why they only saved his head.
Which I all thought was ridiculous until about 2 weeks ago. But continue.
All right.
Please
hold that fucking Bill Burr thought.
Oh, because I thought it was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. But continue.
Well, I think we should hear Bill first.
All right, this
website. Because this is what you're hoping is going to happen to your head. And then Ant will explain what happened to Ted's head.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, most of my conspiracy theory obviously is based on losers on Wikipedia and YouTube.
Well, that's true.
There's actually a website, TED.com, where they have actual like science.
TED.com.
They actually have like real scientists, and they have all kinds of different things, like what's going to be in like the future, like literally like whatever, like your iPhone.
Yeah.
Some of the computer graphics, this guy's like moving stuff around, and all these tech geeks are like, oh my god, freaking out. But then they have some of these medical things, and they showed this whole thing where like when you're like a baby and like a baby, and she had a baby, man, and there's two words, lady, and baby. I can't say without doing either impression. But like when the baby's first trimester, if somehow it loses a limb, you have the ability to regrow an entire limb.
Really?
Evidently, like a fucking gnat. And also a newborn baby, if the tip of its finger gets accidentally cut off, I don't know how the fuck it would, but in the first like 6 months, it will regrow nail and all.
Yeah,
but then,
is that proof of this?
Cannot believe that.
Yeah, dude, you think? Look at me. I have no medical background. I'll show you the video. I'll find it during the break. So basically, they're trying to tap into being able to turn that back on in your body, and basically talking about being able to regenerate all organs. I'm too stupid to explain it, but I was looking at this and I was like, do you know what? If this is basically saying if you had enough money that when you were 90 years old, like a car, you could do a body-off restoration of yourself and just reattach it. You could essentially, I'm not going to say live forever, but you could definitely get another 60 years. I don't know what they do about the bones.
Another life or so out of you.
Or the skin.
Yeah, no.
They could redo the skin,
shit
too?
they are working on.
Fuck.
Yeah, they were taking like all that stem cell stuff, and they were talking about how people who usually have like a colostomy bag, like they grew like another like a
piece of intestine.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Stephen S. writes, then why doesn't a baby's foreskin grow back, Bill?
Oh, that's easily explained by someone with a medical background. I have no idea. How the fuck would I know that? Dude, this guy, he had the lab coat on. He had a stethoscope.
All right.
Dude, have you guys been trashing those assholes who go on Oprah and they're still in their scrubs?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any idea what
I saw that yesterday,
Why?
matter of fact.
Why?
Do you understand that if you actually have scrubs and you're doing any sort of surgery, the amount of blood spatter that is on those fucking things, they're disgusting.
It's not neat.
It says TV scrubs, though, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're all scrubbed up.
They're all scrubbed
cleaned up, right out of the laundry.
Because you got to know that.
We just ironed this.
You got to know you're listening to a doctor.
Yeah, if you're a construction worker, you walk out with a hammer on your belt. Just the fact that you can actually intelligently talk about construction, I should know that, right? Do you have to come out there like an iced coffee?
Yes.
Anybody else want to add some to this hilarity?
No.
Sorry.
Well,
so I'm thinking, who the hell knows? Maybe they could actually, come divine, some sort of corkscrew, and they could screw Ted Williams' frozen head on.
It.
I would just love to watch that hose. He thaws out, and then I'll just. So as I was saying.
Yeah.
2120. There's a black guy president. Wow. What the fuck is going on?
He said, well, we don't have to freeze his whole body. We can freeze his head.
So.
Yes. Ted Williams.
That's some nice thoughts, Bill, but this is what is really happening with the head that was frozen.
I didn't have my finger on the pulse.
You're kind of there.
In theory, it's nice.
Freezing the whole body takes a lot. Some people do that, but this particular method is just freezing the head, hoping that sometime in the future you could take the brain and somehow reanimate it and put it into something. It's got to be so far in the future that it's stuff we don't even understand. So that's what they're waiting for. But this place didn't seem to be the best place to do this. First of all, they just found out like little things, like around these cryogenic tanks are just boxes and garbage and junk piled up, files, like file instead, those big cardboard things with files in them, they're just stacked up next to the cryogenic freezer. You picture this sterile environment looking like the future? No, it's a warehouse, and they're just throwing shit in. We need some room? Fuck it, put it next to Ted Williams.
Every now and again, the power goes off. Oh.
Yeah. And it's supposed to have all kinds of backup generators. This thing is supposed to keep running.
Everything's fine. What's he going to die again? Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Put those files by Ted's head.
Yeah, put it by Ted's head. And it's supposed to, the power is supposed to be uninterrupted for like 2,000 years. to this place? Because once the power goes out and they thaw, that's it.
Yeah.
So one bad storm, and there goes that idea.
But the freezing
Someone hit the
also
telephone pole.
fucks shit up.
Dude, one divorce by the right guy in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also say the freezing itself fucks up the tissue. But they're hoping in the future.
It's like ice cream.
Yeah,
He's
bad
got that.
ice cream,
He's
but
got that.
it's freezer burn.
You get freezer burn in the brain. Ted's
It
got
doesn't
freezer
taste
burn.
right.
So what happened was they used they said some kind of archaic tools and method to remove Ted's head.
Hammer and chisel.
So yeah, it wasn't.
Now, they saw that right off. There had to be a saw.
It had to be just a saw,
Yeah.
a hacksaw from like fucking the hardware store, Ace Hardware.
Oh,
They
they're
went
saying
to
when
Ace.
they took it from
When
his
they
body.
initially took it off his body, they just cut it off with some archaic method. They said.
Ginsu.
So it could have been anything, like a pocket knife,
Yeah.
a fucking buck knife.
It has to be an archaic method. There's
Anything.
no new method to remove a head.
Yeah, remove a head. But you would think, again, this place being this futuristic, we will cryogenically freeze you and you will be reanimated in the future. You think like they're using a laser to take your head
Right.
off.
some
and meanwhile,
horrific scene.
Dude,
It's
that
just some
truly
guy
is-
making minimum wage with a hatchet.
Yeah, blood splattering on the walls.
That truly is one of the great scams.
Oh,
Like
it
I
is.
always wanted to meet these guys who make $1 million off like those 1995 and just go drinking with them because after a couple drinks they just start laughing.
Yeah.
Like what's that one you guys do the shuggle whatever the hell it's called the blanket shirt
Oh, the
the
Snuggie.
fucking Snuggie, yeah.
Snuggie.
Yeah, the
Shuggle.
Snuggie. Snuggie's back. Shovel.
That went away fast.
Well, no, there's new Snuggies out now.
Oh, there
Designer
are?
Snuggies. Yeah, different patterns.
Oh,
now you
thank
can get
God.
a Snuggie.
Different
that's
colors? Thank
Leopard
you.
skin and things like that. Oh, yeah, they look great. Look at that fucking thing. It's a blanket, asshole. It's a
Yeah,
sweater.
they have that on American Airlines. It's one
Do
of those
they?
airline awful.
Ugh, I'd love to see those floating in the ocean in some fucking burning wreckage.
Jesus.
Fuck
With one lone
them.
one lone suitcase.
Snuggie and some sneakers.
So what were they doing to Ted's head?
Yeah, so they took Ted's head off, and then they freeze it. Now, for some reason, they embed microphones into his head, into the skull, and then they dip it into some kind of liquid nitrogen and bring the temperature down to minus 320 degrees. They heard on the microphones Ted Williams' brain cracking 16 times. There's a recording of his brain cracking
Yeah, it swelled
16 times.
just like an ice cube. It was like
It's
the
like
ice cube
anything else.
tray.
Yeah. You ever put ice in a warm drink and it just goes. That's what happened to Ted's
This is the
head.
reality, Bill.
He's gonna wake up with a
And-
severe headache. Oh, my fucking head's killing me.
Yeah.
It gets way worse than
Then
this.
they put him.
Listen to this.
Then they put him into the cryogenic head freezing compartment, which. You can't just lay his round head in the thing because then it would kind of tip over and lean on the side. It's
prop it
not
up with
supposed to
the
touch
chunky
the
monkey.
casing. What they propped it up with, they put the top of his head and rested it like a golf ball on a tee on a bumblebee tuna fish can. That is what Ted Williams' head
Bill's getting depressed.
was sitting
great.
on. And I guess for
They couldn't
some
find
reason,
anything better.
You're gonna
you would
wake
think
up
there'd be
hungry.
Some kind of pedestal.
tungsten. It's made of tungsten, so it doesn't damage the something platinum. Something so the price is justified. It's an empty bumblebee
Get one
tuna
of those
fish can.
trophy bases with that
Yeah.
little cheesy piece of velvet.
Exactly, something. But they put it in a tuna fish can. Then at some point they needed to take his head out. I don't even think they needed to. I think some people were taking pictures with his head. Yes, some people that worked there were taking photographs with Ted Williams' frozen head.
How bad do you want to see one of those pictures?
Oh, you
I know,
definitely.
come on. So then they had to do something about the tuna fish can because it was now stuck to the top of Ted's head. So one of the employees...
That's when they turn his head back on.
they-
You gotta wait till it melts.
Hi.
They
I
turn
always
it-
look for the slider. Kids today
it's-
can't
it's
hit to
stuck
the
to his
opposite
head.
field.
And they store him upside down, neck up. That's wrong, too.
Yeah, well, they have to because it would leak out. Opie's right. It would be frozen.
Yeah,
you
they
don't want it to rest on the
Seal
neck.
that with something.
But it's
Keep
on,
thinking pumpkin.
it's on the top of his head. Now he's got a bumblebee tuna fish hat on his head. So they got to remove the bumblebee tuna fish thing. So one of the employees grabs a monkey wrench and starts swinging at this tuna fish can.
misses.
Smacks his 317 degree below zero face, where now pieces crack off of his face and fly across the room.
His nose went across the room.
Something he missed with a monkey wrench and hit a frozen fucking solid head. So it cracked.
Why don't we go there and just steal his head?
It
and
cracked.
do the right thing for him.
And apparently they put it back in and, froze him up again. But they're just allegations of grave improprieties going on.
All they have to say to them is say, listen, by the time we unfreeze this guy, if the technology exists to screw this guy's head back onto some other torso, you think his nose being detached is really going to be a fucking problem?
There'll be nothing. They'll be able to put a new nose on. Where's the Mick? I want to talk to the Mick. What? What year is it? Holy shit. He fucking...
All right. Yeah, he's done. He's finished.
He's done. I guess the future thing is they think they could grab the essence of who you are out of your brain and completely put it in some kind of automated thing, automaton, or maybe some cloned thing. But you're not actually going to be using the head and brain that is now cracked like a fucking ice cube.
They might as well just use the bust they have of him in the Hall of Fame at this point. Yeah, try to reattach that to a body.
They should just take some brain tissue maybe and freeze it and then hope they can then clone you, and by having some of your brain...
this fucking place needs to be shut down.
Here's an idea. Just bury you. It's over.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
It's a new thought.
Yeah.
Just fucking, who wants to come back to this mess? It's a fucking mess. Just die already.
Is that... Yeah, that's pretty much it. They took the rest of his body and,
Plus, that is kind of selfish for him to want to come back. It's like, really? You didn't get enough out of life? One of the greatest hitters of all time. You played a sport.
War hero.
War hero. How much pussy do you think you got on the road?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Was it his idea to come back? Or was it his family?
That's just it. His son.
I think it was his son.
His son had that will that was all like fucking
these
scrawled out
athletes.
on a napkin.
Why'd they need that tuna can off his head? What was the deal?
I don't know. For some reason, they needed that tuna can off. Maybe like people were coming by to inspect something. It's like, ooh, we've got to get the real piece here. I don't think we could use this tuna can. They're going to be very upset.
Maybe the family was coming by for Father's Day. So they want to make sure he was
like fish.
Presentable.
Fucking fishy smelling hair.
Why'd you leave the label on? We could have told him when you look through the ice, you can actually see it.
Yeah,
did I say Starkist?
My dad's head resting in a tuna fish can. How much do I pay?
We could do a little more Jocktober.
Jocktober.
Want to do a little Jocktober with us, Bill?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you. I went to the Monday night Dallas Cowboys game. I can tell you.
Oh, how big is that fucking screen?
Dude, it is the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever been to. Right? I literally felt like I could ride out the apocalypse in this place. It is the biggest structure I've ever been in. It's unfucking. We were coming up over the hill, and I thought I was seeing the whole thing, and it was just the roof. And I was just like, it's not that big. And then when I saw it, dude, I said holy shit like 20 times in a row. It's ridiculous.
How many people fit in that fucker?
5 decks of people.
Is it 100,000?
Yeah, when they get people standing up. Well, it was hilarious because they put 105,000 people in there, but once you stand 4 deep, you can't see shit.
No.
And then there was a big-time fire hazard there, so the firemen weren't letting people in, and all the Texans were like, I pay my fucking money! And then, in the irony of all ironies, they're throwing water bottles at the firemen.
Oh, that is ironic.
I want to burn to death, man!
That is ironic. That is a futuristic-looking fucking stadium.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, that TV screen is the most unbelievable thing I've ever fucking seen. You have to. It's so clear. It makes the game look like it's fake, and you have to fight. We had great take. We were sitting on the 40-yard line.
Watch the screen.
I had to fight myself not to sit up there and look at it. That it was unbelievable. Then they had like these go-go dancers, dancing at the top of the stadium, which is basically the height of like a low-flying private aircraft. Way up at the top, dude. There was so much shit going on, and the PA announcer was so loud. Every stoppage you play, they're just trying to pay this thing off to be like, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for the FedEx blah, 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 blah moment.
I was talking
ladies
about that,
and gentlemen, they had screen within screen. They would do a replay, and that huge screen would have 4 different shots. The one-on-one of the receiver, Tony Romo dropping back. It was almost too much.
That's awesome.
I was talking about that, though, at Yankee Stadium, like with the same thing, the advertising. everything
Oh,
is
yeah.
just,
Sponsored now, right?
And now the call to the bullpen, sponsored by AT&T. It's the AT&T call to the bullpen. Everything.
The
sponsored.
Fuddrucker nut adjustment. It's like every 5 seconds they're trying to make like more money.
Yeah.
And dude, I gotta tell you, what's great about it is it's so Dallas, Texas, where it's so new money the way they've done it. It is most tackiest.
Oh,
it's
really?
literally like some white trash dude hit the lottery and he gets the gold plate, like real gold faucet fixtures. It is a great investment, stupid.
I like this.
That's fucking awesome.
I like it shiny.
You see any punts hit the TV there?
No,
Or the
when
big
you
screen or
sit
whatever?
on the lower level, everything looks like it's going to hit it. People are like, oh my God, it was like to the side of it. It's like, no, we're below it.
You get no real
They're
perspective.
saying that they're hitting it though. They got to raise it up.
I don't know, dudes. All I know is that
What else does the stadium have?
It's 7 stories high.
Jesus.
My building in New York is 6 stories, and their big thing is then they always have to have the comparison that you can relate to.
Yeah.
You can take the Statue of Liberty, lay it down on its side, and ain't gonna fucking touch either side. That's how fucking big it is. Everything's big down here.
Texas.
And that was a funny thing. And they got this huge stadium, but at the end of the day, they're all still cowboys. And I don't even mean it in a bad way, but he didn't have to spend all that money. This guy in front of me, he was wearing a suit in his defense, but he was dipping. He's got he's got the chew in his mouth.
Yeah, let me tell you, boy.
Yeah.
Spitting into a fucking cup.
Here's the Wildcat offense.
That is, I wish there was some skill to that. Like,
There's no way. You have to go to it.
Yeah.
You have to experience. There's no way to describe it. And that screen, as big as it is, does not look huge when you're there in a weird way because it's proportionate
The stadium
To how
is
big the
giant.
place is.
Yeah. It's like nuclear winter and you found the ultimate shelter. Like you just feel like it's the end of the world out there.
That's some sick
Now,
shit.
what else does the stadium have that's different?
Oh, we got the biggest fucking pro shop. It's like 17 stories. Dude, I walked in there. It was like walking in the Apple store like on free iPod day. I got in like there for like a minute and a half.
I said, fuck this.
And I was just like, I got to get out of here. I was like claustrophobic.
Wow, man, that is, yeah. I got to see that.
Hey, Deadspin.com has
Love
a
to go
video
down
of
there.
2 people fucking in the new stadium, thanks
Really?
to balls in Virginia Beach. Hey, Bill, very early this morning.
Stadium's awesome.
Very early this morning, we said you were coming in, playing the Stress Factory this weekend. Let's make sure we get the plugs out for Vinny. Great place to see comedy. And someone said that they saw you in Sweden.
Oh, yeah,
And they thought you were coming in early, so they were on the line. We never got to them, but said that you were. How did you get to Sweden?
They just called me up and they American comics are doing well over there. Dude, the internet it's ridiculous. Like, and
Wow.
so they're starting to like American comedians. So yeah, they called me up. They asked me if I wanted to go, and it's like, yeah, what am I going to go to Kansas City again? Fuck yeah, I'll go.
How was Sweden?
Dude, it was first of all, dude, the joke I was opening with was, this is what I was opening with. I was like, hey, what's up, everybody? I was like, I got to go with Hitler on this one. You guys are some good-looking sons of bitches.
Jesus. Oh, shit.
It's just everyone good looking.
That's
Dude,
funny.
it was ridiculous. It's not like everyone is, but the ratio of good-looking people.
Sure.
Stockholm, Sweden was like Soho to the 10th power. I was walking down the street with my girl, even like guys, I'm going, look at that guy. Look at that guy. That's ridiculous. And then they'd be like working a newsstand. It's like, come to America, dude. You'd have your own reality show, even if you're a fucking moron. Like, there was some of the most beautiful people ever, but then once we got outside the city, we took the subway, or like the underground, as they call it.
The underground.
The underground, and we got outside the city. Then that's kind of where their uglier people are. It's kind of like, you go out to Jersey, or maybe you don't go up to Albany.
They
You
push
run-
them to the outskirts.
Then
huh?
then you find your Vinnie Brands, your Bill Burrs. Dude, I've never felt like genetically compromised.
What?
When I went there, I was just like, God, man, dude, I am a fucking mongrel. I would literally be like sweeping up elephant shit over here.
Did any? What joke didn't translate? A joke that does very well everywhere else.
This is what I did. I was smart enough. Luckily, I got in like a day or two early, and I went up at a club so I could get over that whole thing because they're ridiculously bilingual, but it still gets in your head. I mean, I went on at this comedy club over there, the Golden Circle Comedy Club or some shit like that. Jesus Christ, could Jimmy do 20 minutes on that name? But there was literally like the three comedians in front of me were just totally like, rising, and they're killing. They're killing. And I'm standing in the back of the room going, oh, my God.
They don't know English.
I flew 17 hours to eat my balls. And they were just, and what was hilarious was I couldn't understand what they were saying, but you could tell who was a good comedian, who was a hack, just by their body stuff. And like there was one you could tell, like this Stephen Wright sort of like guy where he would just be like, and people would just be dying. Just dying. Schmeisen, I see Schmeisen. So I basically, the first night I went up there, I was on my heels because I knew I was going to be. It was just too fucking weird. And there was like, just certain like, there's certain reality shows that are actually American shows that are on over there. Like that's all you go over there, you watch some TV to try to get how much of what I'm saying do they get. But little like I made a kickball reference, they didn't get that. I had to turn it to soccer. But generally speaking, they I mean, believe me, the stuff people were saying to me at the end of the show was totally different. I usually get, dude, you're funny as shit. Let's do a shot. That's what you get. And over there, some lady came up to me. She was going like, yeah, I have a question. You guys are a capitalistic country. Why do you take loans from a communist country?
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm just, I was like, we're corrupt.
Right.
I don't know. Why do you still have a king and queen? I bet it was, I'm telling you, dude, it was one of the coolest experiences. And when I went out there, because I do this podcast every Monday, not to whore myself out here.
BillBurr.com, right?
Yeah, but these people like... So I came walking out, and it was a theater, like 700-seater. I was able to fill like half of it, which I was really happy with. And I walked out, and there was like 6 people standing up because I didn't think I was going to, because, I get emails, are you ever going to come over here? And I'm in the middle of my act. I'm on the other side of the fucking world, and I just go like, I go, yes, my life's, settling down. I go, I got a dog recently, and somebody in the back goes, Cleo! Like yelled out the name of my dog, and I was just like, wow, that's weird. The power of the internet. This is fucking insane.
Fucked up.
You guys, if you went over there, you'd like one of the funniest like non-heckles ever. Just that voice. And I'm not even exaggerating. Like I was sitting there going, towards the end of the show, I'm like, what's there to do here? Where should I go? And blah, blah, blah. And this guy in the crowd yells out, he goes, come to my house, we'll have a party. Dude, I milked that for a half hour. That's another thing I did because, some of my American jokes weren't working. And whenever the jokes weren't working, I would just throw in, come to my house, we'll have a party. And they just would start, I was just doing like, get her done. That was my get her done. I just kept saying it over and over again.
Have a party.
And
we're getting a request. Well, let's get Randy on the line. I don't know. We'll see if this leads to something. Randy in Virginia.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could hear some Swedish Dice Clay.
Willst du zwei Genossen kaufen? Oh! Sind Weichen und sind Gusenweichen. Es kann Deichen und Deichen gehen. Und sind Grettenwunden? Die denen vertrauen.
People say in your podcast, very funny, Bill. So,
BillBurr.com. I very rarely hype it.
What about the food and the beer? I was talking to Roland. He was over there recently. And he said the beer is really strong.
Yeah, the beer was
great. The food
great.
sucks.
The food was, I
think they're into, what did he tell me, Fridays or something? Like Fridays is a huge restaurant for the Swedes.
It's a TGI Friday is like a restaurant / nightclub. Like it's this fucking cool place to go to. Yeah, exactly. And they got like these like
what the fuck? I want some poppers.
Yeah, and they got like they got like lounge chair, like really like it looks like the date rate drug is routinely dropped in there.
Are they just smoking all the time too? Is it a lot of smoking?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was. Well, first of all, they didn't fuck with Hitler during World War II, so most of their old buildings are still standing.
Still there.
They didn't have to deal with the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
They try to act like they were neutral, but when I brought that up to them, they all kind of laughed and rolled their eyes. Yeah, we were neutral.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he used to fucking be across that sea there jerking off to him.
Some shenanigans were going on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Listen, we got to take a break because David Duchovny just arrived.
Okay.
Promoting Californication. and I believe he took a trip across America. We want to ask him about that and other things. A friend of ours. He actually requested to do our show.
That's pretty cool.
But I think that some of that is all bullshit.
You know, I did the Tonight Show. He was actually one of the guests on there.
Yeah.
And actually, my Tonight Show stuff started off a little bit rough. Probably because I said, that's what you get, you dumb bitch. That was my first punchline, which is probably stupid. So when I went to the couch, I said that. I go, yeah, I kind of felt like I was eating my balls up front. He goes, yeah, you kind of were. But, you pulled it out.
You kind of were.
He was totally honest. He goes, I was eating my balls.
So we have a nice connection today. All right, well, David will join the program next. Bill Burr in studio, Stress Factory this weekend in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Fuck. Never stop doing radio. Got a full house today, Opie and Anthony. By the way, Jim Norton's going to be on Leno tonight. Let's not forget about that. We all take a peek tonight.
Oh, he is.
See Norton become a big star in Hollywood.
He's a big star.
A big star. And we got Bill Burr in studio playing the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey this weekend. And Vinny, who owns the club. And now we got to say hi to David Duchovny in studio.
David Duchovny's in.
Good morning.
I think we kind of hit it off with you the first time you did our show.
We did. I've wanted to. I've been hanging outside your studio since.
Pawing at
with
the
a
door.
wow sticker.
A little girl with a crush.
We openly admitted we didn't know what we were doing with David Duchovny when he came in, and he kind of appreciated that, if you remember back.
Well, obviously had to talk about the X-Files.
Oh, yeah. But he wasn't.
Huge fan.
He wasn't in to talk about that.
Well, no, it was the movie had come out recently too.
You don't have to defend yourself.
I try. Well, in here, you always feel like you're on the defensive, which is weird. It's like anything. Hey, Anthony, that was really good. The bit you did the other. No, was it? Was it really?
I know.
It's like some kind of jumping down your throat thing.
I know what it was. We gave him Legos for his kids.
That's what it was.
See?
Yeah, but
that
guy's no longer here, right?
Who?
Your guy. The guy who hooked me up with the Legos.
Oh, Roland?
Oh, that was Roland. Yeah. Roland was a good egg.
We're trying to bring Roland back.
I loved Roland.
Roland rules.
Everyone loved Roland.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He had a certain innocence about him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But what a prick on wheels he is, really.
Ever get him mad?
Yeah, you get him mad. He just goes for the throat.
He breaks your Lego up.
Yeah, if there's any sort of death in your family, you can guarantee that that's the first thing he's going to bring up.
He'll go right for it. Like he was in an argument with our security guy.
Well, we should play it now. It's quick.
Yeah. If
Travis
you
can
got
find
it, it's really.
We'll show you the other side of Roland there, David.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Or hear it.
Roland. Well, I guess the backstory is he was in getting into an argument with our security guy whose dog had just died, and he loved this dog. And Roland really could give a shit that this guy had lost his little pooch.
And he references that?
No, he just straight up brings it up.
If he did it in a subtle way, it would have been brutal.
Yeah.
But the way he did it was beyond brutal. And coming from somebody like Roland, who just looks like the big, happy guy, roly-poly Roland and stuff, and, kind of always smiling, loves the movies.
He looks like Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin.
Do we have that clip, Travis?
I hope so.
I don't have that one yet, but I do have when he trashed Rich Voss, if you want to listen to that one while I find it.
Yeah, what was the backstory on that one?
Rich was said.
Yeah, Rich
I'm
probably
sure
just
Rich
said one
something
thing.
stupid.
Okay, yeah, let's listen to that.
All right.
Roland, I want you to try, too.
Roland books a lot of our guests. He's a very sweaty guy.
I want you to try.
What do you
Roland.
think?
All right, he's trying the drink.
He does the typical.
I don't think he needs anything to slow him down, though.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Was that Rich?
No, you're a calm guy. I'm just saying you don't need anything to slow you down.
You don't want to get on. You don't want to get on Roland's bad side.
No, you don't want to get on his bad side.
Bad side.
Really?
Bad.
Yeah, it's taking me a week to get to the other bad side.
Rich Voss, you can see him on Letterman. No. Leno, no. Kimmel, no. Oh, wait, you might be able to see him on QVC. No. Wait, CW 11. I'll see you on.
That was
Go yourself. Go team. You tan. You're the only tan Jew in the world.
all Jews are tan.
Ooh, I'm rich.
God damn.
Any more fat jokes? Stupid fat.
Oh, really?
Look at
yeah,
that.
so trash how I talk every day I'm in here. And that bothers you? That really bothers
Yes.
you? Take it up. treadmill, stupid.
Oh,
treadmill.
Treadmill. Let me go show you my piggy bank, Rich Voss's bank account.
Oh, really? My bank account?
Look at Spider go.
I've been around for 8 years, so what?
All
Do
right.
something with 8 years. Make it count.
Go get a
Make it
real
count.
guest. Go
Share
get
the
a real
both.
guest.
Been
Go
on
get
air for
somebody.
4 years.
All right, go
$28
get
million,
somebody that's
kid.
real. Get somebody that's real. Do
I
something.
would.
Go to the phone and go to your cubicle and get somebody that's real.
I do.
Okay, good. Wait, you get a... You know what?
He's stuttering.
A radio show where we trash each other. If you're going to walk in, that's what happens, stupid, okay?
He just
I'm
trashed
sorry.
you, Rich.
You're right. You're right.
He just killed you. It was like a standing ovation.
I think he understands that well.
Yeah.
And he did it really well.
Yeah, he had a great exit and everything. It was like a wrestling
He
move.
had the
He's not going to finish drinking.
It's delicious, though.
How long does this go? Jesus Christ.
Drink closer was like a half road move.
All right, Travis, we get the point. There you go. So that's the other side of the river.
Just makes you miss him, doesn't it?
Well,
Yeah, it really does.
We will
That
get
part
him
of it
back
was
eventually.
great.
Yeah.
Part of it
Yeah,
was
he'll
good.
pick the worst thing on your IMDb and just bring that up.
I won't tell him that my dog is almost 16.
Oh, getting up there.
Let me say hi to Dave in Pennsylvania. Dave, we got David Duchovny in studio. What do you got?
I'm not one to call like this, but Jesus, that is the best freaking show on television. Bar none.
Californication.
Ah, thank you.
Californication. It's the one show my wife and I can agree that we stopped doing everything and we watched that show. And I just got to tell you, in last week's episode, thank God I've got a DVR. I had to stop it. Otherwise, I'd have missed the next 10 minutes of the show. The mangina scene, that whole dinner table scene was just off the charts.
That's my oldest buddy with the mangina, Jason Begay. I went to high school with him, and it was just such a pleasure for me after 30 years to be able to show his mangina to the world.
And I will say I'm kind of bummed that you killed off Lou Ashby. I thought that was a great storyline.
Yeah, he was great.
Holy shit.
Callum Rennie, the actor, that was a great character. Thank you.
Well, keep it going, man. All the shows, I shouldn't say this because all the shows I love don't seem to last, but this is just the best show on television.
Californica's been around.
Yeah, this is our third year. We'll be
doing pretty
around.
well.
I've been watching it since day one.
You won't jinx us. It's all right. Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
Sounds like it's off to a good start there, David.
It is. Is mangina part of the lexicon?
Oh, yeah.
It is? Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
definitely.
know. Okay.
Hey, at what point when you're doing a series like that, at what point do you know that, like, okay, we're going to get, like, a second season? Was it one of those things where you did, like, 3 episodes and people were just like, okay, let's sign you up for another one?
The first year it was. And then after that, it's usually just when it starts airing and they look at the numbers and in cable they can do that. You know,
Right.
they wait because there's such a lag time between finishing the show and airing it. So you're in limbo a lot, but we feel pretty good about what we're doing.
Better than like network though, where they can just cut your throat in a second.
Yeah, well, they will cancel you and not air shows that you've already completed.
Yeah, that you've done.
Jesus.
And then you go to work one day, and this hasn't happened to me, but you go to work and everybody's sad, and it's been canceled.
Yeah.
Jesus
And there's just
Christ,
a jingle on TV. Wednesdays are a changing on ABC. And you're like, wait, that's when my show was on. What happened?
Wednesdays are a changing.
And it was that's some stupid little jingle. And your
Could you
dream
have
is
at
over.
least canceled me before I went through hair and makeup?
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm orange for the rest of the day, and I don't even have a job.
You lucked out with Californication because a lot of times did you think like, oh shit, I'm going to be typecast?
Yeah,
you know?
well, I mean, I didn't really think that, but apparently a lot of people did, and I never really thought that. I thought, something. I'll find something. I'll do something. I'm an actor. I'll find stuff to do. And when Californication came around, it was really just the comedy that I wanted to do. It wasn't so much a character, but just like the type of comedy that I wanted to do and that I didn't see out there.
Yeah, you were doing movies after the X-Files that were like different, obviously different characters.
Yeah, but none of them really hit, and that's just hit or miss, and then you just keep swinging.
But the thing is, it's almost better to do a different character and have it not really hit than kind of here, look, it's fucking Mulder doing this,
playing mentally challenged.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how many scripts that had aliens in it have you gotten?
Yeah, did you just keep getting those scripts?
That or just some kind of FBI agent?
Yeah.
I know I look good in a suit. Just stop.
You already have the credentials.
Yeah, he already has a badge. Let's hire him.
Yeah,
We'll save on prop money.
Is there a kind of role that you're still waiting to like play? Because I always thought it would be cool if you got to do that episode, the guest star on a cop show where they chase you down the alley and you get to that chain link fence and you're climbing up and they just grab you.
That scene.
And then you get to do the you're the snitch. Come on, man. Don't talk to me out here, man. People are going to see stuff. I would love to be that guy. Is there like a role? Have you gotten, at this point in your career, have you gotten to do like every sort of like sort of thing you wanted to do?
I think so. I mean, I write and I direct, so I guess I'm interested in doing my own stuff, but I never... I'd like to be the guy on the chain link fence. Sure, that sounds like fun.
Sounds like a fun thing.
I always like in the cop shows. I always like that all they have to do is really yell at you loud and you confess.
Yeah.
You know, they get in your face and they spit a little bit, and all of a sudden,
Like, all right, yes, I killed her. What?
Let's get on with the prison rape already.
Easy.
Vinny, you got something?
I just like, you know what? I like the show Lie to Me, where the guy, they can't solve a crime for 4 years, and the guy, oh, you just picked your nose, you're guilty. Oh, I am guilty, and he just confesses. I'd like to be that guy that just breaks down immediately.
Well, there's the real show, like First 48. You ever watch that?
Yeah.
It's First 48 Hours of a crime, and you would think that would be school for criminals of what not to do,
right?
Because they walk in there, and when you see the cops go into the interrogation room, and one of the perp goes, you know, I want to talk to a lawyer. They go, all right, they pick up their stuff, they leave the office, shut the door, and then you see them go, God damn it, I lawyered up. Like, if the cop's mad, that's what you do. Now, obviously, lawyer up, but then there's people like, all right, yeah, the gun went off. I don't know what happened, but I didn't mean it. You know, meanwhile, he shot 10 times in the head.
Yeah, and then 20 minutes later when they're telling the story for the 5th time, they're like, I was reloading it. My adrenaline was going. I was thinking how great this was going to feel when I shot this person in the face.
It's like lawyer up immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
And it really annoys the cops. That's what I've learned from that program. It's fantastic, though. Like those reality shows.
Did you spend your summer going cross country there, David?
Yeah, we took a rock and roll bus, like the Partridge Family.
Really? Like a tour bus?
Yeah, tour bus.
We had bunks and stuff.
We had 12 bunks, bunk alley, the insiders call it. And
Bunk alley.
yeah, we had a real rock and roll bus driver, and we took a lot of pride in that. We probably drove him more crazy than any band ever did.
Wow.
We are tougher than Metallica.
Really?
As a family of 4. But we went across country, went to the Grand Canyon and Niagara Falls, and we went through Texas and Missouri, and it was
Caught all those. Did you go to all those little sightseeing places?
Yeah, we did. I'd never seen the Grand Canyon or Niagara Falls, so that was nice for me. And the kids.
The Grand Canyon's just ridiculous.
Looks just like the pictures, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You
can't describe it to anyone.
Well,
I mean, the pictures don't do it justice.
I just say it looks just like the picture, only 3D. No, it is an amazing,
it's unbelievable,
majestic, sublime sight. And the kids, it was totally lost on my kids. You know, they was it's hot here.
It's hot. Yeah. All right.
Let's go bowling.
How old are the kids?
I'm itchy.
10 and 7.
10 and 7. Yeah, they don't get the scope of it. They just look at the hole in the ground. Where are the rides?
Yeah.
Is there a ride here? Can I take one of the ponies down?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
they
true.
don't want to say that.
And then you're just so disappointed in your offspring.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
When they get older, it gets worse. Don't worry. You're in the fun stage. It's just a shit sandwich after a while.
Yeah, Vinny's in hell.
Yeah, I'm in absolute hell.
How old are your kids?
I have a lot of them. 24, 23.
Kids? Oh.
20.
You have a 24? What did you have when you were 13?
I had kids when I was just a kid. I was only 22. I had my first kid.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And then I got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. Those are the good ages. 9 and 6.
Jeez, stop already.
I am.
How's
You know what? You know what's weird? I'd have one more because I keep thinking, well, one of them's going to turn out good. If I just
keep going.
Keep pushing
Playing
kids
the
out.
odds. Yeah, play the odds, man.
It's like
Got to be one kid that doesn't want to fuck my mind over.
I always thought it'd be great if we were like insects, where you had 1,000,
there you go.
950 were eaten by birds, but then you had 50.
Right.
Yeah, those 50 little ones that make it to the ocean.
And
the little turtles.
You're only with them for 2 days.
Take the pictures and move on. Get out of this mess.
How hard is that to like travel around the country though? Because obviously you're a pretty recognizable guy.
We're recognizable, but wearing the hat and the glasses and moving fast and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, and that works pretty well. Sometimes you want to be recognized because you want stuff faster than other people.
When you want free shit,
free stuff.
Are you going to make me pay for breakfast? Look at who I am.
Do you?
That's when he pretends he's hot and takes the hat off, wiping the brow.
Oh, David Duchovny's a little warm here.
Yeah, everyone around him says his whole name. David Duchovny, are you really hot right now? Why, yes, I am.
I make the kids call me David Duchovny. I was at the Arch in St. Louis. It was endless lines. It's one of those places where you line up, and then you line up.
What is the Arch? You just go up in the Arch? That's it?
Well, we didn't know because they make you line up for so long. We thought it's got to be great, but
it's got to be something good here.
It's a little claustrophobic, and my wife's a little claustrophobic. You get up into the Arch, and it's actually beautiful from the outside. I found from the inside, it's like being on the 18th floor of a building.
Right. It's exactly that.
But it sways though.
Yeah,
it's designed.
Building.
It's designed. First of all, you go up in those little. They still have those little mork eggs.
Yes, exactly.
That you go up in, and it's you sort of just going side to side, and every time you feel like you're just going to go right down an elevator shaft.
Jesus.
Then you get up to top to look out the window. You literally have to lay down, and the structure is moving.
It was a windy day too when we were there.
All right, so that sounds like fun.
Well, it's a truly beautiful structure. It's kind of surreal and beautiful, but. I was trying to work some kind of recognition scheme there, but it didn't work.
Really?
It worked, but I didn't get any love. I mean, I didn't get to jump the line, and Tay and I are saying, well, the kids have to realize that life is like this. You do have to wait in lines. I said,
yeah, between the two of you, Jesus Christ,
really.
You'll be up there in a second.
No.
What is the move you do when you what's your best I don't want to get recognized move? Like you see a pack of people.
You mean I want to get recognized?
No, don't want to get recognized. Do you just do the head down?
Yeah, I kind of turn and look away, but sometimes my ass gets recognized.
It's been photographed a lot.
But it happened. I said this on I guess it was Fallon the other day. I was standing on a corner and I was waiting for Taya to pick me up on our motor scooter.
Oh, the Vespa?
Yeah.
You have a Vespa?
It's not actually a Vespa, but it's similar. It ain't a motorcycle. And she was late, and I was standing on the corner of Midtown, and I was being recognized, and then this van pulled over, and he was talking to the back of my head. He was like, David, and I didn't want it, so I looked away, and he was like, David, no, I wasn't going to be recognized. And then he pulls around the corner, and he goes, David, your show sucks.
If you just said hello, I would have been a fan.
Exactly.
You cock.
That's exactly
you
what it
couldn't
was.
just say hi.
And I was like, well, your van is...
Needs a tune-up.
I got nothing.
You do that where you've been made? You ever do that? Like you turn your head and go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
There it is. And a lot of times, like whoever I'm with at the time, if I'm with a girlfriend or something like that, they're like, I go, just been made.
Yeah.
And they go, what do you mean? I go, no, the guys in the corner there absolutely know who I am. They're going to come over. They're going to, and they look, because you can see they look at you and their eyes get all weird, and then they turn to their friends and say something, and they all start like turning and looking.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm sure. I'm trying to relate what I go through to David Duchovny, by the way.
I was hoping you were going to call yourself out.
It's just, I understand it, David.
Me and you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm right with you.
Movie, TV fame, radio. When they hear my voice. I clear my throat before my spaghetti. It's over. The whole room's just like, that's Anthony.
You ever get moved right to the back of a line? Back of the line.
Get out of here, you.
The worst one was I was in Chicago years ago. I was doing a movie in Chicago, and I was staying in a tall hotel with a long elevator ride, and I got in at some terrible hour, 4:30 in the morning, going to work, and this middle-aged couple was there, and they were exchanging glances, and I knew it was coming, and I didn't want it. It was 4:30 in the morning, and finally the guy goes, "Good morning, doctor."
Why?
Yeah, right. And I said, wrong show, asshole. I was like, And I guess he thought I was at that point. I thought he thought I was Noah Wiley or Juliana Margulies.
Yeah, probably.
Juliana Margulies. That's hilarious. They know you're famous, but they don't know what you are. Hey, great game on Sunday. You're like,
yeah. My arm still hurts a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Doctor.
Do I have a doctor series coming up?
You ever do the preemptive strike when you know it's coming? You just go, yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
Yes.
Or you ever just do the, I get that all the time. I'm not him.
I have denied myself.
Yeah,
How do you do that, though?
Judas action.
I feel
wow,
like
you look just like him.
I feel like an ass when I do that. I really do. It just never works for me.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
you're
like,
a very specific look, too. You're not an easy
Well,
guy.
thank you.
Yeah. There's not a lot of guys going to be walking around looking exactly like that.
who's that half Jew, half Scot? That guy.
just tell him you drive a truck.
What do you want from
No,
me?
I drive a truck.
I always say, that guy's like 4 foot tall.
Yeah, they put him on a box whenever they film him. Every time he walks with a girl, she's in a trench. It's hysterical.
Duchovny now, he's like 3'8".
Yeah, I heard that guy's a dick. Just keep walking
I
away.
was in New York once, and he wouldn't even look at me.
He can't
I was
act.
in a van. Hey?
That guy sucks.
Then you should tell David what he could look forward to as far as his kids go.
What's the oldest, a boy or a girl?
Girl.
That's miserable. Right around, she's how old?
10.
10. You got 2 good years left, and the wheels will fall off, and it'll be nonstop misery. Everything will be fucking drama. There's never a, that was good. I took my daughter to see Springsteen the other night.
Yeah.
Right? So we're 14th row, center of the
14th row at
stage.
Springsteen.
What could go wrong
Jesus.
at a Springsteen concert?
How old is she?
Nothing. 24. Some girl behind her smacks her in the head. Next thing you know, a fucking full fist fight breaks out. During Born to Run. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And so I turned around to try and calm it down, and this other father, who's maybe 50 years old, short, fat guy with glasses, if you're listening, sir, I would have fucking mauled you. I would have mauled you had you gotten through that fat fucking front of you. And he comes oh,
He had this in him.
He is so mad.
Yeah.
Oh, look, don't you get pissed off when someone's at your kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst. So he comes at me, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But my wife, who's 104 pounds, is separating me, and she's yelling at me like I'm the bad guy. I'm just trying to dance like a white guy at a Springsteen concert. And I got my daughter who can't take a simple smack in the back of the head. Probably an accident, probably a moment where someone got excited. No, that's just fucking all dramaed out. It's a fight. And then my 20-year-old, who's with us also, looks at me and goes, I'm calling security on you. I'm like, how the fuck am I the bad guy?
That kind of sounds like fun, getting into a big fight with your whole
it's
family.
Not at a Springsteen.
That's a nice family bonding moment.
Nice.
Actually, what you're saying is you should have been at the Giants game.
Yeah, the Jets game.
Yeah.
The Giants fans were okay. It's a Jets game.
Yeah.
Where you wanted to beat the shit out of people.
And is the son still smoking pot?
No, he's doing stand-up comedy
That's one of my
now.
favorite stories ever, where
Yeah.
he called the police on his own son, who was
Really?
smoking pot in the house.
Yeah, he was smoking
Tough
pot.
love, I
And
guess.
then in the end, it became a big problem for him because he had to pay for the lawyer for his son.
Cost me $5,400.
You are an ass. Why would you do
It's one of the great stories, though.
You know what? I forgot about that story. I never told you. I bailed him out.
Wait,
after
can you give David, you don't have to get way involved, but just give him the basics.
Why,
of the story.
had you spoken to him before? Or this is the first time you ever smoked pot in the house and you called the cops?
Yeah,
Well, he was
knee-jerk.
laying on his bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm changing an infant in the next room, and he's smoking dope. And we live on a big piece of property. Any normal kid would have said, you know what, I'll just go walk out behind that weed. He won't even know. He's just laying on your fucking bed smoking dope. And
So
he had
you,
already,
you took issue with the placement of the smoking pot.
yeah, more than anything else, definitely. Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand.
I mean, how fucking lazy are you?
So he
I'm
wasn't.
changing an infant. He's doing lines on the other end of the table. It's like, come on. All right,
Bill.
we do it in the kitchen.
Like my father taught me.
Well, he also-
Go outside to smoke pot.
Show some respect.
Yeah. And he also had already dropped out of school. So, he dropped out of school. He's smoking dope. He's not going anywhere. And so I called the cops.
Right.
And then I had to bail him out and then hire a lawyer and beat the case. But here's what I never told you.
You beat the case?
Yeah.
You
Well, because
testified against yourself?
I was the only exactly what happened. I wouldn't testify. And they're like, well, there's no witness now. And I'm like, I can't believe this cost me $5,000 to sit here and go, no, I'm not going up there. I don't recall anything. They got me on tape. He's smoking pot. Come get him. Not like I could deny my voice.
Yeah, exactly.
That was Matt Roloff. It wasn't me.
Midget voice.
So then here's what happened. After I bailed him out and the case got dismissed, your bail money gets released to you. You get to go get that. So he's the same name as me. I hope you didn't name your kid David.
No.
All right, smart move. So So I go to get my bail money, and they go, "Oh, you already signed for your money. You applied it to your tickets." And I'm like, "I don't have tickets. I don't have any tickets." And I go, "Oh, yeah, it's right here." And that little jerk off had tickets that he
bail
hadn't
money.
paid and used the fucking bail money to pay the tickets. The same name.
I think that shows a lot of ingenuity.
Yeah, that is really clever.
I didn't say he wasn't smart. I said he's annoying.
This could be a storyline for Californication. I'm thinking,
Well,
David.
when it started with the smoking pot in
Yeah,
the
smoking
house,
the pot thing, that could work.
First episode, I find my daughter.
Yeah.
Ever think what?
Yeah, no, I'm telling. Matt, you ever think he's like a better dad? Maybe, and maybe all these stories
maybe it
come
was
from
your
the fact
problem,
that
Vinny?
No.
you're a bad dad.
No, he doesn't know yet. They're only 10. 10 years, you have no fucking clue. At 10 years old, you still think shit is good. And you think that's the truth. I'm not even
But they're
trying to
already
be funny.
turning on you, Vinny.
What's that?
They're already turning on you.
At 10?
You jumped in to save your daughter, and your son tried to call security on you.
No, my 20-year-old tried. My son didn't go to the concert. I bought him a ticket, and he didn't go. He didn't want to go.
So basically, once your child can start actually thinking and observing behavior, that's when they start turning on you.
That's when you want to get rid of them. Exactly right. When they start having a mind of their own, that's when it's miserable because anything you say, do your homework, I don't want to do my homework, and they're just an argument. It's a fucking nonstop battle. If you said breathe air, I'm not breathing today.
Well, they realize at one point that you can't actually force them to do anything.
Yeah,
because when they're young,
wow.
they feel like you can force them.
You're not a yeller, right? You never yell.
No, I'll get annoyed, but I haven't. No, not sustained yelling. Maybe like a short barked syllable. I'll bark occasionally.
Right. The best move, just look at them and shake your head no, because it makes them think, and you just go, and walk away. It took me a long time to learn that.
David's a grappler. He takes it to the ground, just chokes him out. he doesn't do a lot of talking.
I did have my son in a full Nelson yesterday, actually.
Really?
Yeah, but it was mostly in play, I think.
Mostly.
I think.
Just a little
reminder.
at the end.
A little reminder of who's boss.
Yeah, a little pack leader, alpha male stuff.
Daddy, you're starting to hurt. Oh, I didn't mean that.
I just put the full weight on him, like a dog does. You know, just
yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. I still run this joint.
Yeah, nip at his ears a little bit.
We got one of David Duchovny's biggest fans that work for the show. We're all fans, but we got one of your biggest fans, Mars. Mars is freaking out that David is here today. Yeah. But he can't say your name.
Which, the first or the second?
Well,
yeah, that would be. I can't say David.
Sam's getting him right now. Listen to this.
Hey, Mars. What's the name of the guy who stars on Californication?
David Duchovny?
Oh, jeez.
David Duchovny.
Yes.
And then Sam had him try to just read the name.
Duchovny?
Oh, hey. Hey, Mars.
Just read it, Mars.
I am
Sam.
David
Mars.
Duchovny.
Mars is right behind him.
I don't know. How do you say it?
Sam has weird hair.
Try it again. You got it.
David
looks nervous. He just looks nervous about what's about to happen.
My knee is
I don't
itching.
know, man. I gotta ask him.
Not know.
Well, you know, it's funny because this is another old. When we were doing the X-Files, we were shooting in downtown L.A. and it was kind of crossing the street. Downtown LA is a little like a ghost town. I don't know if you guys know, but it's not like downtown.
It's like 28 days.
Yeah, it's not like
yeah.
So we're crossing the street, just me and a bunch of guys who work on the show, and there's a homeless dude with his shopping cart, and he kind of pulls up next to me across the street and looks at me and he says, "Robert Duchovny." He says, "Robert Duchovny, I love all your series."
I'm not him.
Oh,
that's not me.
Where's Mars? Mars.
I love all
Mars.
Robert Duchovny.
Mars falls apart when he's on the air with us.
Oh, look at you! He's all starstruck.
He's already nervous.
He's one of our engineers.
You can call me Duchovny.
Yeah. Duchovny. I love all of your series. That's brilliant.
Mars,
the guy was probably so sure of himself too, right?
Yeah.
Robert Duchovny.
He loved me.
Mars, Mars, are you a big fan or what?
Very big fan.
But you can't say his name?
I have difficulties with his name.
All right, try it now.
No disrespect.
No, I understand.
David Duchovny?
Wow.
You did that one already.
Oh, what?
You did that one already. Try it another way.
All right.
Why?
The one that initially...
Olympia Dukakis?
I initially said Duchovny.
Yeah, no, that's what you just said.
Right?
Not initially. That's all you've been saying.
Okay. I also said...
Initially and keep going.
Yeah.
I also said Duchovny. Duchovny.
Oh, like douche.
Douche. You never want a douche in there.
No.
Well, that's interesting because my father took the H out because he was tired of being called Duchovny. But he never did it legally, so when my parents divorced, we actually put the H back in. But he spelled the name Ducovny, which is Duchovny. No,
Wow,
it's Duchovny.
Of course it is. Duchovny.
So you're not alone in calling me a douche.
Well, look him right in the eye when you say the name. I want to see you get nervous. Look him right in the eye.
No, Mars has a way of asking a question live on the show. He's really good when it comes to UFC stuff and David Duchovny. So, what do you want to ask David today?
Oh man!
Look at him freaking out.
Just shuffling the weight between each foot.
Where does the name Mars come from?
Marcelino.
Oh, Marcelino.
It's short for
That's
Marcelino.
Nice. That's nice.
We can figure that out.
You guys didn't know that.
It's short for Marsa.
We didn't know that one.
I really love your show.
Thank you.
But I have a problem with pronouncing the show too. So
Wait, what's the name of the show?
Californication.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
All right.
That's it.
I've been practicing for the past half hour.
Now, what's my name?
You got it now. You got it.
David Duchovny.
What?
No.
Novocaine?
No.
What's the matter with you?
No.
What do you take out of your phone? What do you got, an app that says?
No, if I could read
Duchovny app.
All right, if you can read it.
If I can read it, perhaps I can pronounce it better.
Yeah, you will.
Read.
All right, read.
Wait.
You keep pronouncing it the same way. You just pause at different moments for saying cock. It's the same pronunciation.
All right, let me find this.
Paging,
Come on, Mars, you can do this.
Paging Dr. Freud.
Isn't it odd to have this kind of effect on people? It's just an odd thing. I
honestly don't think it's me. I think it's the name.
He's freaking out, though.
He pronounces everything else fine.
Why does he have to scroll so far to see my name? What's going on over there?
I don't know. I'm looking for Steve's email.
Mars, go ahead.
You can do it.
Here, it's in big letters here.
Yeah, let me get.
All right.
There you go.
All right, now.
Yes, that's it.
Big fan of his. Let's see how you pronounce
Look
his
at the
name.
paper shaking. Look at the paper shaking.
David Duchovny?
Get out of here.
You are just a wreck.
No, wait a minute. I could get this.
You are a mess.
Look at the paper.
Yeah, it's shaking.
You guys are no help.
David's uncomfortable in the corner now.
I know. It's just horrid.
Come on.
David Duchovny.
Wow. Something's happening.
Cacophony.
No?
Can someone say it once for me?
David Duchovny.
Say it once.
David Duchovny.
Duchovny.
There you go.
David Duchovny.
There you go.
Yes, you got it.
Right.
All right.
Finally.
Now do
Holy
something for
shit.
15 seconds and try it again. All right, now say it again.
We'll come back
Now say
to
it
you.
again, right?
Now, who you like, the Jets or the Giants?
The Cox.
What's his name?
Duchovny.
Knew it.
Summer school, son.
What a mess.
Well, why don't you ask him a question, though?
Ask him a question.
Yeah.
This season,
About Californication or... Yeah.
This season in Californication, are you gonna? I'm lost, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
You know,
It's all right.
This is great. He's
What,
a
you want him to
mess.
give out the last
What
episode?
do you want to see? What do you
well,
like?
I want you to get that chick back that stole your story.
My Mia.
She's
Mia.
little.
Good old
Yeah.
Mia.
Well, she comes back this year.
The character is.
Yes.
The character is.
Thank you.
Okay.
She
You don't know her personally, right, Mark?
No, not
Yeah,
at all.
okay.
No, Madeline
weren't
Zima.
sure.
Madeline Zima is the actress. Can you say that? Madeline Zima.
Madeline Zima.
Yeah, she's the actress. She's terrific. She does come back this year. You'll get more of her.
No, but do you get your
My revenge?
Yes.
In a manner of speaking, I do. It is a
give it
storyline
away.
that
These are great questions. Can you tell me exactly what's going to happen? So there's no reason to watch it.
Mars, she had a nice body, right?
She
First
said-
time she got naked on the
Yeah, she was
Californication,
sexy
huh?
girl. Very sexy girl. Yeah. You're quite a character, man.
Thank you.
I'm sure he thinks the same of you.
Do you write yourself in the
No.
like that?
No. I don't do any of the writing.
That's pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
You're one gigolo.
Is it funny?
Very funny,
Yeah.
very good. It hits. I'm about your age, I guess.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about that.
All right. I'm 40 and I have kids and stuff, and all the stuff that you.
Wow, dude, he freaking
if you ever do a play called David Duchovny Stuck in an Elevator, like this would literally be the conversation.
This is like a Chris Farley moment.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Yeah, remember we did that? That was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a mess.
Yeah.
That's it about Californication?
Yeah, that's all I have.
That's cool, Mars. I appreciate it.
See?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I didn't know I was coming in here for this, so.
Oh, really?
You weren't prepared.
I would have prepared.
All right.
Charlie Rose.
That's right.
He thought he was coming in for Charlie Cock.
All right, Mars, you're off the hook.
Yeah,
All right,
get out of here. Maniac.
Thanks, Mars.
Jesus Christ.
He's great on the air. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, have we plugged what night of the week?
Oh, Sundays at 10 on Showtime.
Sundays at 10 on Showtime. Thank you.
10 Showtime.
I couldn't trust that to Mars. Could I?
No. Sunday on Cock Time.
Cock o'clock.
10 o'clock.
What does Mars do here?
He's an engineer.
He's actually the engineer. He keeps all this stuff running.
Really?
It's like spinning plates.
He's smarter than us.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about
He's
that
on
whole
a different wavelength.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all that energy that normally goes into remembering people's names goes into equipment and maintenance and
good.
stuff. So, yeah, it's much better that way. Why don't we let
we'll take a break. Yeah,
go?
I'm sure you're a busy man, David, right?
Probably
Not today.
promoting.
Oh, well.
No, you're not promoting anything
I'm
today?
promoting. No. I just wanted to come here and do this.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I like you
Very
guys.
nice of
Well,
him.
he might be here when we get back.
Yeah.
If he wants to.
Yeah.
If he's gone,
Yeah.
then you know he didn't want to.
I just
David
screwed
Duchovny's,
myself.
If he's gone, he's David Duchovny.
I think we could call him a friend of the show. Californication, Sundays at 10 on Showtime. We'll continue.
Come to my house, we'll have a party.
Derek.
You missed it, Bill.
That's awesome.
They remixed your Swedish thing. Bill Burr was in Sweden doing a little stand-up there, David. David Duchovny still in studio. Californication, Sundays at 10 on Showtime. And check this little figure out. Ratings were up 57% from last year's numbers.
Ooh. Yes.
You don't even have to be here to promote with numbers like that.
Well, I attribute it to you, to the show, to the fact that I was going to come on.
You guys were talking music over there, Bill?
Well,
Yeah, just drums. I was just saying, if you want to learn how to play an instrument, all you got to do is just go onto YouTube and literally whatever, if you have guitar song you want to learn how to play, you just type in the song and you just write guitar lesson, and you'll find some creep out there who'll show you how to play it.
Some creep.
Oh, they're all creeps. And then everybody
Have a
says,
video on the web,
you're
you're a
playing it
creep."
wrong. This guy sucks. Epic fail. And all that dumb shit. It's fucking annoying. And then they never have the balls to put a video up themselves.
Right.
what is epic fail?
I
You
don't
don't know
know.
the epic fail
Yeah,
yet? No.
yeah. It's one of those things when somebody, just fails at doing something.
It's an epic.
I guess somebody wrote it the first
That
time,
bad.
and then everybody has the exact
There's a
same
whole site. There's a
criticism.
whole website. The guy has a site for just fail. It's either fail.com or they're hysterical.
Failblog.org or
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you basically, they got this website like failblog. something or other.
It's all people just fucking up.
Yeah,
Failing
people getting
at
hit in the
whatever.
balls.
Failing at whatever, right.
Drinking glass of water, fail. Like cuts his mouth open. It's like every fucking thing you could possibly fail at.
And 5,000 shots of guys getting hit in the nuts.
That was great.
I was writing a check and the pen tap hit me in the balls. It's vicious.
Yeah, but that's funny
Check
every
writing
time. Though.
fail. Epic.
It is.
Ball shots are funny every time.
Yeah, that was that
Every
joke.
time.
That's a joke that bombed when I did the Tonight Show. The first one I opened with was talking about watching people getting bit by poisonous snakes.
Now, that's
and that
funny.
was the punchline. That's what you get, you dumb bitch. And everybody's looking at me like I'm a maniac. But
You're mean.
Yeah.
That comedian's mean. This is the Jay Leno show. Why is he so mean?
no, people getting attacked by animals.
He should do Kimmel.
People getting attacked by animals is the greatest way to truly understand their power, because if a lion attacks another lion, it's even.
Yeah.
I want to see what if
Have you
I
ever
walked
seen
in there.
You ever seen the moose trample the guy to death in front of like 20 people? There's a moose trapped in a fence. So everybody's outside the fence. Let's watch the moose. It's inside this little corral, however it got in there. and just one guy. I gotta go.
I got to be
closer to the moose.
Dr. Doolittle.
And he knocks him over,
yeah.
and he just fucking stomps on him until he's dead, and everyone's got their cell phones out. They're doing this. And now it's on YouTube.
Of course you could do that.
Moose rescue, epic fail. Like, that's basically how it works.
Yeah. He thought it was Bullwinkle.
Yeah, that's what they do. They get this misconception that these animals are friendly for some reason, and they can walk up to them.
Yeah.
And one of the best ones I ever saw was a woman. I guess it was in Russia, where they just treat bears horribly, make them ride the bicycle. I don't want to do this.
Their paws are nailed to the fucking pedals.
Yeah. And then they put a muzzle on this one. Thank God, because this woman is sitting next to this bear, and she looks at it, and the bear kind of looks at her. And just grabs her and like belts her 3 times in the face. She falls over, and you could just see the strength of this thing.
Oh,
and if it didn't have the muzzle on,
was
dead.
over.
Yeah.
Epic bear pet fail.
You ever see the lion eat the father? And there's a
What?
Yeah, you go on. This is an easy one to find on YouTube. There's a family.
Just type in lion eat father.
Yeah, sure, it's on there.
There it is. And the
lion father fail.
And you can learn how to play it on guitar too.
Yeah, that's a new song. Yeah.
That's a great one. The lion, he gets out to take a picture of a lion. They're in a car. They're on a safari. And when he gets out, this female lion just walks up behind him, gentle as can be. She pushes him down on the ground, and then they all just eat him, and the family's in the car.
Cannot be real.
It's real.
Everybody says that one's fake.
Yeah, that's a fake
Who says
one.
it's fake?
Everybody.
Pull it up and watch it.
Fake, totally fake.
I don't know. That's fake.
I love that. Fake, totally fake. You're dick, totally fake.
You can see the edit.
Yeah, it's good. You pay attention to any of the critics on the internet? You get,
no, because
like
it's
that.
hard to not remember awful things that people say.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget nice things.
Very good point. Yeah.
So I try and stay away. Sometimes it's not possible, but
I've been in battles with people that, and then I go, why am I doing this?
Why are you wasting
Why
time?
am I doing this?
Here's
Because
what you have to
They're not
know.
going to change their
I just
mind.
think whoever the worst somebody will say, some voice inside me will say, they're right.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Really?
You know what you have to know?
They figured it
It
out.
doesn't matter.
Damn it! They're on to me.
It doesn't matter what you do. Someone's going to find a problem with it. You cure cancer and stuff. That's the fucking worst cure for cancer ever. Fucking jerk off. Anyone could have done that. Anyone with a typewriter can weigh in now. That's
Cure
the problem.
fail.
Yeah.
With the typewriter? How old are you? Fuck. Everyone with the typewriter.
Jump fail.
And then my 50-year-old
Jump
kid.
epic fail.
Vinny typewriter fell. Fucking Vinny.
Yeah, anonymity
And you were
is the
killing
problem.
too.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
people don't have to be responsible for looking you in the eye and saying something.
Yeah,
Because
used
that's
to-
a real human thing. And when you're not doing that, when you can just hide under the cover of darkness or internet.
Always complain about that. It's like there's no accountability. People can say whatever they want. I think a lot of people get facts from the internet just because it's written and it's typed and it's a nice font and it has
Listen.
maybe a sporty looking website, and then you're like, oh, it's got to be true.
My son, years ago, the internet just comes out, and he's doing a homework assignment, and he has to do a report on lions, and he's got a picture of a tiger on this fucking report. I go, Vinny, that's a tiger. And he goes, no, I got that off the internet. That's a lion. I got that from lion.com. I'm like, you fucking jerk off. That's a tiger.
It was
And I
under
said to
not
him,
a lion.
This is what he said to me. I'm not making this up. I go, Vinny, does it look like a tiger? He goes, yeah. He goes, but these people on the internet are a lot smarter than me and you.
That's why he's smoking pot now.
Report fail.
That's why they. Yeah, that's. But somebody writes something in a blog and. Like the news will even pick it up sometimes, and it's totally fake. It's false, and then they got to. We're sorry, we were misled and stupid.
Yeah, but
We Googled that.
Then
They
you
got a
can't put
video.
it back in the bottle, though.
No. A lot of times a rumor will just get out like that. Yeah.
But some people go on there and they're just trying to. When somebody just like totally loves somebody or loves a video, it is funny to write something bad about it.
Just to see
Oh
how
my God, that
pissed
puppy is so cute. I hope he gets rabies. And they'd be like, that is so mean. And then you can just get them going. It's like you're bored. You just want to piss people
It's
off.
fun to do.
Yeah.
It's like the prank call of now.
And people
You can
want to
just
read the
fuck with
bad
people.
shit. They don't want to read the good shit. They want to read that one comment that says 500 good things and that sucked, and that's what they read.
Had it so many times though, where there used to be so many message boards about this show and stuff and then we just stopped acknowledging them for a while. Still go to a few of them and stuff, and I think they've settled down a lot more than they used to. But It was just you'd get on there and you'd feel good about what you did that day, and then you just be like, you read one post, it's like, they used to be so much better back when they did this, and Anthony used to do this, and then list like these imitations I used to do of everyone that's dead now. It's like, sorry, I can't help it that every imitation I was able to do in my life, they're all dead now.
His Monica Lewinsky was amazing.
yeah. So what am I going to do? Sorry, I can't go, well, yes. Sorry, Reagan's dead. Now it's like on his birthday, when a Nancy Reagan story comes up, then I can pull Reagan
You got to work on your Obama impression.
Yeah, I think I've been doing that. He's got a kind of a staccato cadence to his speech.
Let me hear that.
No, I'm not ready for it yet.
Okay.
Not ready for it yet, David.
Time. Okay.
David Duchovny.
I apologize.
He was so nervous. Mars couldn't take being in the same room.
Bring him back in.
He made me nervous.
Out. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he make you like?
Thought he was going to take a swing at me or something.
he would. He's a martial artist.
I saw that. I saw that on his T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
You know by reading the T-shirt.
Yeah.
That maybe
you know that he's at least a yellow belt.
There's something about his build and his haircut. You can tell he's not just a fan.
Yeah.
Like if I put on a UFC shit, they'd be like, oh, he likes it. He pays for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Do you do anything like as far as
fighting,
protection, fighting, things like that?
I boxed for a while.
Did you?
I haven't done it for a while because I screwed up my hand, but I actually had a couple of fights, with gloves on.
Really?
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you win?
That's a nasty sport.
I think I was 0-1-1.
Yeah.
I
don't like getting punched. It hurts.
No,
it makes you feel silly.
Well,
but we're gonna do this for fun.
I'm like the thinking man's boxer, which means like I get hit and I think, what am I doing?
Yeah. Why am I in here?
I don't need to do this.
Yeah, I'm thinking
actor.
too much in here. I'm thinking I shouldn't be in here.
Exactly.
And it was. It's funny. It's a sport. Well, I think like most sports, they're very hard to take up when you're older. If you didn't do it as a kid, especially these instinctual games, which most sports are, and boxing is it's a lot like dancing, except you're getting hit while you're doing it. And
except your partner's really mad at you.
That's still how I dance.
That's the way I used to think of it. It's like here we are dancing, and occasionally we're going to try and hit one another. And you just never stop thinking when you take it up old. You never stop thinking left, right, and you just never get that good.
After all that beating up, do you do the whole hug? Good match.
There's a lot of love after that because the truth is you can't actually have a fight unless somebody agrees to fight you. So you have respect and gratitude for that person for giving you the chance to get hit.
Great.
I didn't hug anybody at Springsteen.
Somebody gave me great advice. I did that for a minute. Like, you just like, look at these boxers. They're shredded. I'm going to go to Gleason's gym and start boxing. And Charlie Murphy, I told him I was going down there to do it. And he goes, well, listen. He goes, if somebody tells you, he goes, they're going to try to get you in the ring because they need fresh meat down there. He goes, I'm telling you, it's like he was like saw the future. He goes, you're going to be there for about 3 weeks, and he's like, yo, someone's going to come up on you and start saying, yo, you're kind of nice in there. You ought to get in there. And literally that's what happened. I'm the whitest dude ever, like, and this shredded black dude's like, yeah, man, you got some skills. You do comedy? You'd never know that. You should get in the ring. He just needs to practice some shit that he's not ready to do in a pro yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to block it. Like, what happens if I do this? Yeah. It's like,
he'd look at you and you'd start bleeding, by the way.
Yeah.
You look like a bleeder.
All us Irish guys.
You would just cut so easy.
But you never quit.
Yeah.
If you can't do anything for yourself, you're still coming. Don't stop what you stop it for.
Yeah.
Fucking nose is over by your ear.
You ever see those fights with like that real Irish guy and a black guy, and the Irish guy is just covered in blood.
Yeah. Bit of a bleeder.
Oh, Tex Cobb.
And the black guy looks like
Chuck Webner, right?
Fresh out of the
Old
locker
school
room.
boxer, Chuck Webner.
Chuck Webner, I remember Tex
Bayonne
Cobb.
bleeder.
But white guys look so much worse when they bleed because they got their white.
Jerry Quarry would never quit.
Jerry
Quarry was a great fighter.
He was, yeah. He had the problem of when he came up, there were so many great guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had to fight.
He was also a little small. He was like a light heavyweight, and he was fighting.
What about Jerry Cooney?
Cooney had skills.
Looney Cooney.
From Huntington.
Yeah.
Peter McNeely.
Boy.
Used to see him. McNeely was another one. Yeah. Up in
He used to do our radio show.
Peter
Bill.
McNeely.
He fought Tyson.
David just goes, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he could kick my ass in 10 seconds.
But no.
Yeah, he got to fight Tyson, though. Come on.
Yeah.
Tyson in his prime.
You ever have to get into any altercations, though? Because, you and Tail walking around.
No, not in a long time.
Yeah?
No.
They leave you alone?
Yeah.
What about paparazzi?
Yeah, they're around.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah, they
Do you
tend
fuck
to,
with them, or you just like, you let them do what they're going to do? Or?
Yeah, I guess you just have to let them do it. I suppose it's legal. But what they do now is when they have a video camera, they'll ask really nasty things, and then then you're not. I don't react, but I guess then they can play it because the audio is them asking really nasty things, and that's amusing.
It kind of It kind of makes
then your
them
reaction to how much of that, like some of that stuff, like with like the paparazzi, how much of that is like, because you hear sometimes stars tell them where they're gonna be, like,
shit.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking, just because like there's like some like super famous people, like you never see like whatever Steve Buscemi, you never see him coming out of a Starbucks wearing Uggs, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and it's just like they're the paparazzi, they're not the CIA.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, but it's like they're the paparazzi, they're not the CIA. Like, at what level do you get to where then you can't control it anymore?
You can never control it, but it was funny because this summer we were in Malibu. We go to this beach all the time because I was shooting the show, and I get uptight when they take pictures of my kids. But there's nothing you can do. And they published some picture of me in the surf with Tay and the kids, and it was a really nice picture. And I was like, let's get that one framed.
Saving some money here on family photographs.
That's our Christmas card.
Because normally one of us would have to be holding the camera. So, hey, we got a group shot here. We don't have many of those.
You don't tip them off, though. Like, if you're doing the show, you let them know you're shooting, right? They know you're going to be shooting on a location or whatever.
You mean on a location? No,
Yeah.
that's public knowledge. They can find out. They can call whatever the bureau is that takes care of locations.
But you don't want your publicist to call you, come get shots from People magazine?
No.
No?
Some of the stars do that though.
They have to.
They play along with the
I tell people
paparazzi to a
nonstop.
point.
No one shows up.
No one would
we got
give a
the
shit.
we got the Peter McNeely fight on the screen. That's what I was
is that what you're
reacting
laughing
to.
at?
Oh my god, he barely lasted 2 minutes in there with Tyson.
Yeah,
he got his
minute
ass
20, I
handed to
think.
him.
It's coming up right here. Watch what Tyson does to McNeely.
Let's see this one.
Gave him a nice headbutt there.
Tyson.
Yeah, watch what Tyson does.
Oh yeah. God, those were the old days with Tyson.
Good night.
Jesus. Don't get up. Stay down, Hurricane.
Look at him.
He got right back up, though. Tom.
Yeah, did he?
There you
Look
go.
at his eyes.
I should be
Fail. Boxing fail. Epic boxing fail.
Fail.
Yo, that's a great ref right there. He's just like, no, you're going to get killed.
Look at Bob Kelly. Bob Kelly's talking to the guy.
Dude, you know, man, you lasted 2 minutes, dude.
You're done with the fight. You get a cup of coffee. Boom, you're done. It's Bob Kelly. It kind of looks like him. Jesus Christ. What happened?
Dude, we're in Vegas. We're going to have a good time. Dude.
Yeah, that was in the... God damn.
That was 95.
You didn't give a shit that you paid for pay-per-view and knew you weren't even getting 3 minutes out of the pay-per-view. You just wanted to see Tyson come barreling out of a corner and destroy somebody.
I gave a shit about that one. That was a bad one to get.
Well, that one was, but you got it, or at least you went to a friend's house
I got
to
all of them.
watch
I got
it.
the Michael Spinks one,
Yeah.
where he punched his pancreas, and he hit him in the body, and the fight was over.
The problem with that, I knew that fight was over because Spink showed up with the tube socks that I wore in 8th grade basketball. It's like he got those from Paragon. I know he did.
That's not good.
He's going to wear those home. It's obvious he's not going to get them sweaty.
Wow, Muhammad Ali was already a little slow. 1988. They just showed him in the ring with giant glasses. And a young Donald Trump in the ring, too.
Joke. Forget how long ago this crap was.
1988.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, that's one of the best DVDs you'll ever get, or compilation like the YouTube was still just
check out
the
his
Tyson
socks
knockouts.
And they
check
go
out
down.
Spinks'
Yeah.
socks later on. I'm telling you, it's 8th grade basketball.
This is just really amazing how you can mention something now and then just watch it.
Yeah.
Like years ago, you were just fucked. Hey, remember that? Yeah. Mental picture. Now it's like, boom, you pop it right up on the screen.
That was the same with movies when they had to stay out in the theater to see
movies. Or remember,
back in the day, if you missed a movie, you missed it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come on 6 years.
5 years, you might see it on TV. You know, a CBS world premiere movie,
Star Wars.
Yeah. But it would take years to get on TV. And then the other thing was when you're like, what was that actor's name in that movie? And you'd toil over it for days sometimes. And now you're like, IMDb.
Yeah.
Duchovny.
All right. It was David Duchovny was in that.
You know what I found the other day? Late night, I'll be on YouTube, and I don't know, you just start remembering stuff from your childhood. I found the clip where the $6 million man fights the $7 million man, and he punched his face off. He punches his face off. His face falls off, and there's all these wires.
$7 million man was paid by Ted Williams.
He punches his face off, and then conveniently, the guy.
I didn't know there was a $7 million.
No, I didn't know either.
Oh,
I know he fought Bigfoot.
No, he fought the $7 million man. That was a big thing. Like, oh my God, this guy's worth $1 million more. How's he gonna beat him? It was like the new iPhone was fighting the old one, and he punches his face off, and the guy's like, it's coming at him, and it just conveniently happens to be a steel girder from a skyscraper there, and he impales him with it. It's awesome. No, wait, I didn't find it up. I made a reference to it on my podcast, and then within 20 minutes, somebody sent me the link.
Yeah, that's great.
And they had it up there. Dude, and I was trying to explain to somebody younger, you got to understand, there was no cable. There was no internet. You have. This blew my fucking mind when I was 6 years old. Someone will find it. One of your listeners.
It really is something though, because anything you could bring up, right, anything and remember something like God. Whenever we wanted to watch that Archie Bunker clip about when he's talking about handing out guns to prevent hijackings and then collecting the guns back, and then bam, there it was on the any clip from a show. It just really is amazing.
And David was right about the Michael Spinks tube socks.
Yeah,
they
right.
were they were way up to his freaking knees.
He doesn't look like a boxer.
No.
No, he didn't fight like one either in that fight. Wow.
Ew.
Pancreas. Oh, there it is, the $7 million man.
He found it.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, watch, he's going to punch his face off.
It's a promo for a toy.
Oh,
wait a minute. That's the picture. Here it is.
Oh, that music is horrible.
Okay, the guy on the left is worth $7 million.
He doesn't look it.
He doesn't look like he's in shape for $7 million.
For $7 million,
it's that guy.
His arms should bend.
Yeah, we've seen that guy.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, for $7 million, his arms should bend.
This is the longest fight ever.
That guy was in the Andromeda strain.
Here he goes.
Where's his?
There goes his face.
Damn.
Look how lame his face is. You should get something better for $7 million.
Oh, no.
That gave me nightmares.
There's barely any wiring back
There's
there.
a steel girder.
But they're in the middle of nowhere. Why is the steel girder in the middle of nowhere? They're in the desert.
Watch this. Oh, he impales him.
Wow.
Oh, no. He's not coming back from that. $7 million fail.
Shot to shit.
Epic fail. No face fail.
I hope he was insured.
Oh, he picks up the face.
But the face looked pliable when it was on him.
Yeah. Now it's not moving.
It's got rigor now.
That's the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
People watched that show?
Oh, dude, it was incredible.
That show was huge.
I hope they're not YouTubing the X-Files like that.
Out of context.
Oh my God! Look how lame.
Remember with
that
David
is.
Duchovny?
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, that's hysterical, though. How bad was television?
They owe you money, don't they, David?
Who?
The X-Files?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Well, you better check.
I got some wrong info then.
That was a while ago.
Okay, that's old school.
Yeah.
You guys figured that one out.
By the way, one of my favorite.
We did.
On the second run when you got the $11 check, you're like, yeah, I think it should be a little higher than that.
One of my favorite clips though of X-Files when you got that goop all over you and that underground thingy and you said something like you're ready to lose your cool demeanor or something.
Oh yeah, that was early on.
Yeah,
that was early on.
That was a good clip though, very funny.
Some bodily fluid.
Yeah,
that I didn't want on me.
They didn't want on me, of course. Oh, this is when he fights Bigfoot, and we found out that's Andre the Giant in the suit.
I think we're still arguing over that point. Is it definitely Andre?
We checked IMDb.
Yeah, it's Andre.
He's
He's credited as.
All right, he is credited
as being Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And why are they watching that? Why wouldn't you have a square TV? Like, I can understand this is supposed to be futuristic, but like the TV is very inconveniently diamond shaped.
That's a weird shape. Yeah,
it's not a good aspect ratio.
I would have loved to see them shooting the shit in between takes.
Well, I'm telling you,
dressed as Sasquatch with his legs crossed.
We had a couple times where, again on the X-Files, because we would have had stuff like this, but there was an episode where later in the run where I had to fight it was all the repressed stuff from this perfect community that was going into the sewers, and it had created this horrible being because everybody was acting perfectly and repressing.
I remember that one.
And this thing comes out of the shit monster, basically.
Yeah.
comes out of the and he's the return of the repressed. He's killing people in this perfect community because they're not dealing with their, desires as humans or whatever the point was. But anyway, it's building to the climax of this horrible shit monster that I'm going to have to throw down with, right? So we get to that point, and there are people around watching us film. And this guy comes out, this poor guy. He's a big guy, not like Andre the Giant, but a big guy in a suit. And he looked as bad as that $6 million stuff. And then I had to act like I was afraid of him in front of people, and that hurt my feelings. But the director was really angry because he had thought that the creature was going to look tougher and scarier.
Yeah.
But he actually said, and this is a classic line, and I'm sure it'll get beeped. But he said,
No, we're on satellite.
He said, that guy doesn't look scary. He looks like the man who fucked Mrs. Butterworth. That's what he kind of looked like. He was a glass bottle full of maple syrup.
Wow.
So I had to act scared of the man who looked like he fucked Mrs. Butterworth.
And did he say within earshot of the guy who was dressed up that way?
He probably knew he
the
looked
guy-
like shit.
The guy had, he had so much latex on him. I don't think he could hear anything, and he couldn't really move. He was slow moving. Like when I would watch the horror movies when I was a kid, I was terrified of Dracula because he had moves and he was slick. He could fly. He was quick. But Frankenstein, I always thought I could get away.
I could probably run.
Guy moved 1 mile an hour.
Backpedal.
Frankenstein and the Mummy.
Yeah,
I
the
could get
Mummy
away
is
with.
stupid.
But the werewolf and Dracula, I had to give up. They had me.
they nailed you. Yeah.
We got a couple people on the phone. Graham in Pennsylvania. What's up? Talking to David Duchovny from California.
Hi, Graham.
Hey, I got a question for David Duchovny there.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, as an actor, can you still watch a movie or a TV show and be affected emotionally, or do you just see people working?
Well, that's a good question. I both. Depends on. I try to. I want to enjoy other people's work in movies and television and stuff, and sometimes it's hard to distance yourself from the fact that you know how it's made and everything like that. But a great piece of work is still going to be moving and funny and that. So I would hope so, because I want to enjoy stuff as much as anybody.
What have you liked recently? Anything out there that was got you?
Let's take a no on that one.
Well,
I think we just knocked his face off. There was that one show.
There is something, but I'm not remembering. I do like stuff. I
like stuff.
Yeah.
But how often do you sit there and you're looking at something going, oh, God, that's like a 3-day shoot. He's got to wear that
Or
itchy
you ever do, yeah.
It's mostly when I watch my stuff and when old stuff comes on, like old X-Files stuff, I'll go, oh man, I had such bad gas during that scene.
Really remember those little moments?
It's like watching home movies. So
Yeah.
I go, oh yeah, I had the lasagna that day. Yeah, I remember that. That was 4 a.m. that shot. Look at that, I'm asleep. Look at that.
You watch stuff and just think, oh, that guy's a hack.
Yes, I watch it with my wife, and she's always very kind, because I honestly believe that I'm like a slow builder, learner in this business, and when I started, I was green, and I sucked, and I was lucky enough to get to go to work every day for 9 years and get better. But we'll look at old stuff, and I'll say, oh my God, that guy up there, that guy is horrible.
You really noticed that big a difference between the first few X-Files and like the
Well,
end of the...
it's different, because I think I had a lot of energy, and I really wanted to do well, and there's a certain kind of eagerness.
Yeah, the character almost had that in him.
And
so...
I think that works.
Yeah.
But in terms of skill or competence or craft, is horrible.
And then like you got into directing also, which now that obviously learned just watching directors.
Yeah, well, watching, just being on set and and seeing that you can do it. That I guess the most important thing to learn as a director is you don't have to know everybody else's job. You just have to hire people that are good at their jobs and let them do their job. At first, I thought, I got to know how to light. I got to know how to do craft service. I got to know how to do everything. But you don't. You just have to hire good people.
Yeah, because anytime I've watched people doing a shoot. It's like the director kind of, I don't know, other people are doing everything, and the director's just kind of like...
kind of taking a look at it. Yeah, that looks good.
It looks good. Let it roll.
Let's
You know,
move on to the next one.
You just have to work on saying action really commandingly.
Yeah, and making, you know...
The director's big
Iron
job is taking
fist.
credit.
Rolling with the iron fist.
Everybody
I guess.
wants to talk to David. Let's go to Mark in Philly. Mark?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, man.
Mike.
Hey, David, I just realized that you've been on the show for pretty much an hour, which went by really quick, and I just wanted to say you're fucking awesome on the show. We all enjoy you, and hopefully we can hear more of you in the months and years to come. Good luck with Californication.
Thanks a lot. You know, when I directed a movie years ago called House of D, and we went down to the Philadelphia Film Festival, and I really hadn't been down to Philly ever, and I really enjoyed it down there. So thank you for that.
Philly is pretty unique as a city. It's one of those kind
Philly.
of standout cities.
Yeah.
Oh, they're animals down there. They really are just brutal.
Yeah.
There's two Phillies. There's the nice Philly, and then there's
Philly,
outside.
and then there's evil Philly.
Yeah. This is nice. That's Ben Franklin's first pair of glasses. Stab.
What about the
I know,
frame
it's
of his
so
house?
quaint in so many areas.
What about the frame of his old house? It's not even his house anymore.
Oh, Ben
It's like
Franklin's
this
house?
is sort of what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like posts
And
and,
then
a
you-
fake roof
and then
with
you-
just sticks.
And then you
it's like,
walk
yeah,
and they're like, well, this part was the kitchen. But
Yeah.
there's nothing that...
Nothing there.
Now they're digging up George Washington's house.
Well,
and-
we all know Franklin ordered out a lot. He didn't.
He didn't even cook. You can tell. Yeah, that's it. It's like, what the fuck
That's
is
it.
that?
He ordered from ye old California Pizza Kitchen.
That is one of the worst tourist attractions I've ever seen in my life.
Horrible.
Did it burn down, or they just didn't think enough to
It was
save his
old.
house?
Yeah, I don't think they knew back then.
a
It's like,
gigantic bifocal house.
we're taking down Franklin's house tomorrow. Who gives a shit?
Right.
You know, and then a couple of hundred years goes by, and you're like, oh, maybe we should.
Why'd you do that?
Should have saved that.
Could have made some money off of it.
Let's go to Mike in Lindenhurst. Mike.
Hey, I just wanted to ask David, what was it like to be the FBI agent in drag on Twin Peaks and how he got that role?
Oh, that's going
That's
way
going
back.
way fucking
yeah.
back.
Damn.
That role was, I believe, originally written for James Spader, who for some reason couldn't do it when it came time to shoot it. So they just sent out this big casting call. I hadn't really done much at the time. And I went in, and I remember bringing a nail file into the audition, like that was going to be my drag. And somehow I got it.
This is going to be great.
Yeah. I was one of those young actors. Nail file.
Yes.
Method.
I'm brilliant.
Yes,
And
put
then
it
I
over the
didn't even
top.
use it. I just kind of held it like a ice cream stick the whole time.
You walk in, there's 10 guys online with nail files.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
So I got it, and then I nared my legs. That was an interesting experience. We nared my legs in the trailer, and I remember I was working out at a gym at that point in West Hollywood.
Ooh.
And I remember going in with what I was referring to as fur shorts at that point.
Oh, because you only had to nair up to a certain
Exactly.
point.
It was a bad look.
Yeah, especially at a gym.
Yeah, especially at that gym. And
Oh, shit.
From here up, I'm all man.
That's you?
Wow. David's like, oh, no.
Now you're sad it's radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
That's hysterical.
Go to the legs, though.
You're a good-looking broad.
I think I know why James Spader wasn't available.
Yeah, James Spader went, what?
I had a good personality.
Wow. That is hysterical.
It was a great character. The idea was that I was a DEA agent that had gone undercover drag to make a bust and liked it. So I stayed. Is that the only clip you have?
With your bedroom eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really kind of a nice entrance there. I had no idea. Look at that.
At that point, I remember just getting a call to play a transvestite. I got the sides. They seeed very. What's this? This is me telling the story.
Yeah,
look
at that. Yeah, that you just told on
Sorry to repeat myself.
Well, it's weird. You kind of look like Linda Hamilton from Terminator.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I think she had bigger guns.
I see that.
Just a little bit.
Let's go to Matt on Long Island. Matt.
Hey, Duchovny, have you ever
That's me.
X-Files dialogue into Californication, like Truth is Out There or something like that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
I'll work at some X-File lines.
Oh, like sneak in a line for some of the fans or something?
No, I try not to do stuff like that. I always find, it kind of takes you out of whatever show you're doing. But
That's true.
if it works, it works. I mean, if there was a reference to the X-Files in the show, it might work. But I don't know. I don't think so. I'd like to keep them separate. Keep them separated.
Well, I'm a big fan of Duchovny. I love you.
I appreciate that.
We get it. Jesus. Just back from Afghanistan.
Yeah, this might be good. All right, let me say hi to, wow, a little compliment for you. Scott in St. Louis.
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
Oh, good,
great.
Scott.
Hey, David, I want to thank you for Californication. It's a fantastic show. I just got back from my latest deployment to Afghanistan, and I work in Intel, sitting in the ops center, had Californication on the computer while operations are going down. I had comedy and porn and people getting killed. It was fantastic.
It was perfect.
What a
Little of
great
everything.
military we have. Gonna kill that Al-Qaeda guy. Hang on. TiVo the show.
Isn't that great? You could just watch TV and wipe a few people out. Why not?
Chris in Pennsylvania wants to know if you could start watching Californication now and not be lost. Yeah, I think you could.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It's not really. It's not.
Are the other seasons out?
They are.
It's not lost. Yeah,
it's not lost. It's not heroes. It's not plot driven that way.
Right,
You can
right.
certainly
Absolutely.
enjoy that.
Jump right in.
Yeah.
Start laughing.
Yeah, we have
Good.
no plot. You know,
Yeah, it's nothing.
Just keep the laughs coming.
Yeah.
Who picks the music for the show?
Mostly Tom Capanos.
Some good choices.
Yeah,
there.
he's a guitar player himself, and he's got really good. And I like to get involved in the music
Yeah,
too.
right on. Yeah, did they put out a CD of the music?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
that's something I should pick up.
Yeah,
a lot of covers and stuff. Really good covers of really good rock songs.
Yeah.
I think we're heading to the finish line.
Yeah, very nice. It's Friday. Let's get the
Friday.
fuck out of here and begin the weekend.
All right. Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Give the big plug there.
Californication Sundays at 10 on Showtime. Anything else you're promoting, David?
Not right now. I'll come back though.
All right. No Twitter, none of that crap.
I don't tweet or twat or anything.
It is a weird thing, that whole social networking thing.
Yeah. Well, I did a movie with Demi Moore that'll come out, and I'll come back and promote that when it does. But she's a big tweeter.
Oh yeah, she's
She's
one of the most
Ashton
popular
Kutcher are
ones.
like
Yeah.
ridiculous with their tweeting.
I don't think they're married.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I can't say tweeting. It's got to be twittering. Tweeting is just
tweet.
Twittering's bad enough. Just
Yeah.
doing it is bad enough.
I feel like an old fuddy-duddy when I poo-poo it, though. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Why you kids and your computerized...
I'm one of the only people left on MySpace at this point.
Yeah, that's
still on it.
You want to be the last one to leave.
It is your space, Bill.
Yeah, I really.
It's now called Bill's Space.
No, I refuse to go to Facebook. I'm like, I'm not going to go add the same 30,000 douchebags. It's the same fucking people, and then they're acting like they're all. No, these are the cool.
By the way,
random people.
douchebags,
They're
Bill's
not.
playing 5 shows this weekend at the Stress Factory. He said, douchebags, come on out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I trashing?
You're trashing your people.
I'm not.
they
got
know.
better things to do.
You're going to do well, Vinny. Don't worry.
I just discovered texting.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's handy.
That was supposed to be funny.
Now it is.
Epic fail.
Do Cockney fail.
I had to go out with an epic fail.
No, you can't do
It was
that.
going so well.
That's not good. Let's say hi to Footer. Footer.
Hey, what's up, boys? Go fucking chicken. Hey, I got a quick question for David Duchovny.
News guy said that
Oh.
on the air.
All right.
He did?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, do some fucking rubes come up to you and like ask you like UFO questions and shit? Like you are the character.
Question.
Yeah, sometimes.
It's got to be.
Do you believe in UFOs?
Yeah, they ask me that all the
Yeah,
time.
that's the big one, right?
Yeah, do I believe in UFOs and that it was always just weird to me that they would confuse me with the character that way. But I came up with a theory a long time ago, which was that you know, there used to be this thing, Ship of Fools, where they were when their prisons would overrun back in the 16th, 17th century, they just put all the nutcases on a boat and send them out, and then they'd float around until they'd all kill each other, or they'd run across another boat and try to kill them. So that's the Ship of Fools out there, crazy people. It's a great idea, right?
That is fantastic.
So my theory is this: that alien civilizations have done exactly that. That they've taken all their offenders and
Refuse.
dentists. Because apparently all these aliens want to do is probe our anuses and drill our teeth.
Right.
So what the alien civilizations have done have taken all their sex offenders and dentists and put them on their alien ship of fools, and now they're around here.
And they sometimes bump into
us
the
and
planet.
they like to probe us.
And sexually assault us or ruin our teeth.
They really like our
That's a
heinies.
decent theory.
Wow.
It's not a bad theory, right? You like
Go
that
after
one?
I like
that
it.
one.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that
stick
old
with
school
that one.
stuff. Like Ship. I used to go drinking in a bar, Ship of Fools, and I had no idea what it was. but they were actually kind of insulting me. That I
That
would
sounds
actually
like a
go in
great
there.
reality show. Just
Yeah, you're right.
ship out lunatics and then just have cameras everywhere.
See who they run into.
I got one for you. This is something I learned on the internet the other day. Is back in the day, they used to have, there was a street in England called Grope Cunt Lane, and it was literally where the prostitutes were.
David just looked out the window like, "Help me!"
That's where the prostitutes were.
Is this is a real story?
Yeah, and then politically corrected. They called it something like Grape Lane or something. I don't know. They switched it up. Go ahead, look it up. It's on Wikipedia. It's got to be true.
Well, in England, that word's a little more
You are
acceptable.
at your destination.
Yeah, the other nav system. The word's a lot more acceptable in England, apparently.
Yeah, right there.
than
There you
here.
go. There's Grope Cunt was a street found
you're
in
right.
English towns and cities during the Middle
I
Ages.
grew up on 11th Street and 2nd Avenue, and I will tell you that 12th between 2nd and 3rd was that lane.
That lane. There you go.
Yeah, that's where Jimmy,
he's had
Jimmy
a good.
would hang out there.
He's
too.
had a couple good ones. We should end right
Yeah.
now.
No more.
I could go south at any moment.
All right, we got the plugs in. So Bill Burr, it was great seeing you. Are you around Monday?
Yeah, I'm going to come through.
You coming back through?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna come
good.
through.
Nice.
We try to get Bill on as
I'm going
much
to be
as possible.
hyping my town hall gig.
Really?
Now Vinny's going to be pissed.
No, don't say you're going to be in the area. No. Town hall is big and impersonal. Enjoy the show.
November 6th.
Vinny, your tickets they got to be good for the weekend.
They're selling very,
All
very
right,
well.
so-
Vinny's Stress Factory / Best Buy store that he has out there. He has like 58 flat screen TVs. Jerry Jones ripped off the big flat screen from him.
You do have a lot of TVs there.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm
He
here
fucking
while
runs
you're
a great
filling up the
club.
backpack. This is
That's
serious.
Yeah, I know. Let's let David go. So
I am a get the hell out of here guy, man.
Yeah, it's Friday.
I run from this place on Friday.
Californication, Sundays at 10 on Showtime. We'll all be watching. David, it was a pleasure. Come back and
My
see
pleasure.
us soon, all right?
I will. Thank you.
And guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Party.